Now that man up there seems to be holding a shotgun, Larry, if I'm not mistaken.
I think he's holding a shotgun, and I think one of his purposes is he wants potential looters to see it.
Alright, this is King Butcher. Welcome to BDA Boxing, the boxing debate arena. This is the countdown show, and we have Mr. BDA on the line. Let me just play his intro.
Well, I don't know why I came here tonight. I got the feeling that something right.
Alright, Mr. BDA, you there?
That's right. You should have played some sort of a Christian rock, Christian gospel, something like that. More fitting.
Yeah, some Opus Dei shit, you know.
First of all, you gotta stop it with the swearing. That's number one.
Yeah, of course.
Right?
It's a family show, guys.
15 seconds. Oh, you're getting fresh.
It's a family show here.
That's right.
Well, this is a countdown show, so you know what that means. Anything goes. And we have the phone lines already open, so if you guys want to call in, give us your take on Usyk and his heavyweight adventure.
That's right.
Might be a big mistake. Jason Bourne saying, get him, BDA. What the hell is he talking about? Let's give a shout out, man. Apology, Endgame, Akim, GB Boxing, Mr. E, Irving Locke, that's his name. Seamus Carey. Guys, welcome to the show. We're gonna be talking about, well, listen, I'm still a bit disappointed at some people saying that we're simply predicting that Usyk is gonna be successful in the heavyweight division because he's from Eastern Europe. I don't know how that matters, since I'm not even from Eastern Europe. So, BDA, what do you think about that? People who are saying that we're going too far by saying that Usyk has a great chance of beating Deontay Wilder.
Yeah, I saw that, or I heard rather, in the past couple of episodes, some callers and some of the usual suspects in the chat room. So, you know, some of those guys that you only see them appear when you're talking about, or when we're talking about rather Errol Spence or Deontay Wilder. It's business as usual with those people. They're not real boxing fans. But if we want to stick to the boxing, I gotta tell you, Usyk has a very good chance of upsetting the apple cart. This is the zone. He's with who's he with? Who's promoting him? Who's backing him in this race?
I think Eddie Hearn, no? Eddie Hearn is Matchroom Boxing. The zone. That's where he's fighting. I did a list of like the heavyweights that the zone has, and it looks more promising than the other networks. Like you have AJ, Usyk, Dylan White, Joseph Parker, I guess he's mostly there, Chisora, Hergovich, Baby Miller, Hunter, Povetkin. On the other hand, PBC, you have Ruiz, Wilder, Kovnatsky, and then ESPN, Joy Joyce, Fury, Pulev, against Dubois. So the best option for Usyk is actually to go to the zone, and he made the right decision. Well,
Right.
Matchroom.
And you never know. I mean, Jimmy was on here a couple of episodes ago talking about how the situation with the PBC ain't looking good. They are running out of money. They got the lawsuit there with the Waddle and Reed. They only have so many slots available on Fox Sports. Showtime is, I mean, what has Showtime shown so far other than Gervonta Davis mismatches and Clarissa Shields fights?
That's what I think. At the beginning of the year, they had. Oh man, I should have kept the schedule that I had there at the beginning of the year.
Right.
You're right. It was Davis. I think Santa Cruz. That fight was on Fox, no, or Showtime.
The Rios or Rivas, I forget the guy's name. Yeah, I think that was on. Could be wrong, but I think that was on Fox Sports. Whatever it may be, the fact that we can't even recall, whereas 2-3 years ago you could at least name 1-2 fights from Showtime. I mean, they were putting on a lot of shows a year. Now all of a sudden the dream is over. So all of this to say, Bucho, that if anybody wants to jump ship, I think Ruiz, the way he's been managed, or promoted rather, for this Joshua fight, he might like or while he's doing all those promotion, all that, maybe the Zone or Matchroom or whoever is trying to, butter him up a little bit, try to get him to jump teams.
Can he? I mean, I don't know. Yeah. I mean, depends on the contract he has. But listen, if he beats AJ,
the general point is that at this point, I don't know what the chances are that Usyk will fight Wilder, or that ever fight could ever happen, or that even him against Fury could happen.
Yeah.
But if we want to this is the first step tonight, rather. This is the first step for him to show us what he's got. He has to be impressive. That's all he can do. We mentioned that a couple of episodes ago.
90 seconds.
He's in a lose-lose situation. He has to look good. And Bucho, this Chaz Witherspoon, somebody said in the chat room that he looks permanently sad, like he's on heroin or something. It's true. He does have that face of, I hate to say it, but I think he's got perpetual loser syndrome bottled up inside of him, and it shows in his face. Today is his opportunity to show the world that what he's made of. He's 6'4", or at least that's what BoxRec has him listening. He's a big boy. He's the son of Witherspoon, the titleist from the 1980s, one of the dead eras of heavyweight boxing, Tim Witherspoon. And so he can box a little bit. He knows he's hungry. I assume he's hungry. I don't know if this is just a pay for him last minute, but Usyk cannot take this lightly, Pucho. You know that. I mean, boxing, theater of the unexpected. Every fight is dangerous.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what we're gonna see today. I mean, his opponent Witherspoon may not be. Well, I think I can say that he's not that skilled, but he's a big guy. So let's see what happens, right? I mean, this is just a beginning for Usyk. But hold on, I just have to invite a few people. So hold on. All right, I'm back. That was quick. So yeah. This is just a beginning. Of course, but what do you think about this, Mr. BDA? Some people were saying, well, how come Usyk didn't at least fight a guy like I don't know, Chris Arreola?
Chris Arreola, who just lost to Glowacki, I forget what his name is.
Is he retired now?
He's half retired, and if not, he should be. I mean, he's Arreola at this point. He's turning into cannon fodder he is cannon fodder for some of the top heavyweights. Glowacki, I don't really consider him that. I mean, he's one of those smaller guys at the division, smaller in terms of, or shorter, I should say, because he's definitely not small when it comes to weight. But these fatzos that can control their eating habits, Ruiz might go that way though, because you can see some of the people saying now that the tide is turning a little bit, and people are saying, "Well, really, how good is Ruiz?" I mean, he got that good win over Joshua, but other than that, Dimitrenko, who's the Eastern European David Price, I mean, if you're halfway competent, you can knock him out. Ruiz went life and death against Joseph Parker, whose stamina sucks. So, he might not be the Oliver. He might be the Oliver McCall to Anthony Joshua. In other words, he might not even be all the. He might implode because Butcher. Think about it.
Is even worse.
Was that
The Buster Douglas will be even worse.
the Buster Dunk? Exactly. I mean, think about it. Any guy like Ruiz who can't control his eating habits means that there's a certain weakness there mentally. Okay. Now, I know some people are going to say, well, what about James Toney? Well, guess what? James Toney was lackadaisical in his training too, and it cost him. It cost him when he could have beaten certain other types of guys, like Samuel Peter, for example, or Hasim Rahman. He could have beaten those guys way easier had he shed a couple of pounds and been more nimble. But no, he had to keep shoving his face with food. And it's the same thing with Luis. There's something there about him being that grossly overweight that leads me to believe that he might not be all there when it comes to his confidence. Maybe I'm wrong, Butch. Maybe we'll see.
So he's self-imploding unconsciously?
You know, some guys do that, man. Some guys we see certain boxers and we think, oh, he's a boxer, so he's a badass. But there's levels of badassery in this game, and some guys, they can't handle the pressure of being the man. Some people, it's easier to get to the top and get the crown than to keep it. And we'll see if Luis can live up to the hype. I don't know.
All right. Well, we have Gonzalo, and I think he's gonna disagree with you. Gonzalo, are you there?
Yes, hello.
What's up? What do you think?
I think he can perform.
Yeah.
He can perform. He's confident in his boxing skills. He's those type of dudes that hasn't taken it to the next level as far as like the training regimen. He's kind of like old school when it comes to like, oh, I've been boxing ever since I'm 7 years old. I'm confident in my skills. I'll train when I have to fight, and in my off time, I'll kind of take it easy. And then I'm so reliable on what I can do. The next time I step into camp, you know, I'll perform again. And then there was lulls in his career, but now that he stepped onto the big stage, I mean, he got the title, but he's got to change it up. Yes, I agree with that. He's got to take it to where, you know, he's competing against against fighters that are going like the full route. You know, that they're doing everything and anything to be elite, and he's got to keep that mind frame.
Yeah, I agree, but I mean, there's video of him like eating a bunch of fucking like nachos or something like fast food type of shit during a soccer game. He doesn't seem to be losing weight. I know the fight's in December, but he has a lot of weight to lose, man. And obviously he's not gonna lose all of it, but it was just, if he's saying that he actually wants to be to come in shape, shouldn't we already be seeing some signs that he's actually getting into shape?
Well, he's the type of guy that I think if it ain't broke, don't fix it. He performed well at 260 pounds. He still had fast hands.
Yeah, but he said he wanted to lose weight, though. He said that he wanted to lose weight. So he was lying?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. He did say that he wanted to tone up and be like the Mexican Anthony Joshua. He never did that.
Yeah.
First of all, if you ever see a Mexican who's 260 pounds and chiseled and cut, he's on roids.
You think he said? Do you think Andy Ruiz said like, "Yeah, I want to put in the effort and look like Anthony Joshua," and then halfway through it, or not even, he started saying, "You know what? I'm actually really hungry. You know, fuck that." No, he's probably rationalizing the situation, right? He's like, "Well, I do want to get in shape, but at the same time, I want to keep eating." And then at the same time, I actually beat Joshua already being fat, so why should I go through this hardship?
That's a good point. That's a good point. Think about it, guys. Let's not mince words here. Overeating is a compulsion, and a compulsion is an aberration. It's an abhorrent behavior. Something's wrong.
It's a sin.
Well, I wouldn't go that far, but yeah, I mean, true. There is a
precedent
precedent in the scriptures regarding gluttony. It is one of the 7 sins of law. So you're absolutely right, Bucho. There is a religious precedent there. Very perceptive of you. But here's the thing, Bucho. I mean, I want to bring it back to another Mexican heavyweight, Chris Arreola. I remember there was an interview when he was undefeated on the come up, and people were actually expecting him to do something. You know, he might have become the first heavyweight Mexican titleist. I mean, that's what people were expecting of him. And they interviewed him in Ring Magazine. And they asked him, like, well, you know, in your past couple of fights, you've shown up at 240 or 250, I forget which weight, which was way too high. He says, haven't you thought about maybe reducing that. He goes, well, yeah, but I get hungry. That's what he actually said.
Yeah,
He says, I get hungry during the night. And then the guy, the writer, the interviewer, actually called him out on that. He said, yeah, but I mean, you want to be heavyweight champion of the world, you got to control yourself. And then Chris Arreola went, yeah, you're right. But then again, he never went on to control his weight. So some of these guys, man, they can't let that food go. That Jack in the Box, McDonald's, that Whopper with triple meat and that special sauce they give you, they can't let that shit go.
Yep, I agree with that. It's hard, man. It is an addiction, Oh, we have Vinny. Vinny, what's up?
Already?
Yeah.
How you doing, Mr. Bucho? Yes, already.
Well, Mr.
Welcome to the
BDA
show.
said that, but yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry, Mr. BDA.
Yeah, you better be sorry. I've been calling you, by the way. I've been leaving messages telling you when you're going to contact me, when are we going to get together and work something out, and I don't hear from you. What's going on?
He's trying to help you, man.
Trying to help you.
How you guys doing? It's both of you on.
Yep.
What a pleasant surprise.
Just ignore what I just said. Yeah.
You guys on together. It's actually always a better show when the both of you are actually on at the same time.
That's a backhanded compliment if I've ever heard one. But yeah, go ahead.
Yes. I would like to say I'm watching The Zone right now, and I have a free subscription from my friend, and I also have ESPN Plus for free from my friend as well.
Okay, and what do you think about The Zone so far?
Yeah, I must say right now, The Zone, their quality is pretty exceptional. But this fight kind of sucks right now.
Okay. Yeah, it's not even the main card yet, right? It starts at 9, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct. These are the under
Preliminary.
the prelims, I guess you want to call them. Yes, correct.
Well, Vinny, we're talking about we're talking about eating disorders. You ever gone through any of that, or know somebody that went through something similar?
Yes. For me, personally, on the weekdays when I'm at work, I actually have I can fast for a pretty long time, but usually on the weekends, I'll have a Krispy Kreme donut, things like that. Pizza. I'll have like cheat days Saturday and Sunday, so I feel pretty bloated by Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
yeah. Okay.
Somebody wants to say something, I think.
No, I just said.
Ah, okay.
Yes, go right ahead, sir.
Vinny, how much? May I ask how tall are you and how much do you weigh?
Yes, I am 6'2", 274 pounds.
No shit.
Of power.
Power.
Pure unadulterated power.
Yes, I pack a pretty big punch, to be honest with you guys. I'm a pretty, I guess you guys can say I'm a super heavyweight, but I don't look like a heavyweight. I'm pretty slim. I can eat a lot, but I'm one of those that I can eat, buffet and not gain a pound. So it's pretty great right now.
Yeah, but wait a
all
minute.
those obese guys in the world right now.
6 feet.
Yes, go ahead, sir.
Yeah, sorry, yeah, but you're 6'2", 270. I mean, even for a 6 feet 5-inch guy, that's too much weight. I mean, 6'2", is most of that jelly or?
Most of it is muscle and a little bit of belly fat, but I have a my six pack is kind of there. You could kind of see it. But the sides are a little bit, flabby. But I have, pretty big guns. It's kind of like Triple G Triple L when he poses and does it's kind of like that.
Not for nothing, Vinny, but your voice doesn't quite match what a 6'2", 270-pound guy would sound like.
Yes, a lot of people tell me I'm a gentle giant.
I'm just, I'm sure you are. I'm sure you are. So okay, so listen, we're talking about. I guess you already went through the ringer with Butch on this one about what Usyk can do in the heavyweight division and all that. But I just wanted to ask you. You said the other day that you were getting handled a little bit during sparring. Who was handling a 6'2", 270-pound guy? Another heavyweight?
He's a pretty big guy. He caught me with a left hook, and he caught me with a body shot, but I brushed it off eventually. But I do spar on occasion on the weekends. But I'm pretty sore the day after. Pretty bad. But I love to spar individuals, and I'm pretty successful. Because of my size and my length is. I have pretty long arms as well.
Well, you say you're pretty sore after the sparring session. Do you generally go get something to eat to raise your spirits a little bit?
I try to stay away from like McDonald's, Wendy's, and other fast food restaurants. But I usually like to eat salads and Greek yogurt, things of that nature.
That's right.
But if I want to lean muscle, then I'll eat that stuff. Bananas, grapes, watermelons, and things of that nature.
Blue Collar Sports in the chat is asking you, Vinny, do you try to replicate Deontay Wilder when you're sparring?
Listen, that guy is the most explosive fighter in boxing right now, guys. That guy has freakish power. There's no way I can emulate him. There's only one Deontay, the Bronx Bomber Wilder, guys. But I do. Sometimes I try to throw a looping right hand, and but I can't do it like Wilder. Wilder always lands. I don't come close.
It's hard to do the windmill, huh?
Vinny the gentle giant, is that what they call you?
How you doing?
I just want to clear this up.
Unrecognizable. Yes.
Vinny the gentle giant.
It's not a wind. I wouldn't call that a windmill. I would call that a looping right hand, a destroying right hand. It just crushes everyone. It's just amazing the way he sleeps these guys. These guys fall asleep. This is unbelievable.
And they wake up.
I'm falling asleep right now.
Yeah, me too.
But listen. All right, listen. Vinny, you need to call me.
Yes.
You need to call me, man. I've been trying to leave messages on your fucking email address. You're not answering me. What's going on there?
Yeah, we're gonna start calling you gentle asshole. You keep.
I'm sure Mr. Unrecognizable, I'm calling him from now on, due to the fact that he picked Triple L to beat Derevyanchenko, and I was correct. The only guy on the panel. So from now on, it's Mr. Unrecognizable until he beats me in a prediction again. Thank you.
Wait a second, Vinny. You little fuck you. Well, hold on 1 second. I officially beat you. I beat you.
No, you cannot rob me like that.
No. Listen, I understand.
You cannot rob me, sir.
I understand you have your opinions, and I have mine, and you lost. I thought you was a gentle giant. I thought you was a gentle giant. Are you a gentle giant?
People say I'm a gentle giant. Yes.
Well, you're acting like a giant asshole right now. If you can't say that I beat you,
come on.
I beat you.
I'm wondering what happens when Vinny gets mad.
Yes. Mr. Bucho and BDA, Bucho, I usually, you don't want to see me get mad, but I destroy things when I get mad. I'm pretty much, to compare me to like a present day fighter, I'm kind of like Deontay Wilder, with no regard for, anybody's soul, basically.
This is Vinny.
You're a funny guy, Sully. I like you. That's why I'm going to kill you last.
You're a gentle midget. Tell the truth.
Yeah.
Really great soundbite. By the way, I just want to just say, Usyk, he should win this because, like they say, there's a popular rapper, I don't know his name, But I've heard it before from other of my friends. They say there's levels to this something, and with
Right.
Usyk,
You gotta.
with Usyk, he's levels above Mr. Witherspoon, so I expect no problems tonight. If he has problems, I will be on the attack.
Okay,
show.
hold on. Okay, so wait, hold on, Vinny. What's your prediction?
Yes, I have Usyk winning pretty convincingly, maybe by stoppage. I'd say 11th round stoppage.
Okay, so what would be a result that, like, what would Witherspoon have to do to make you believe that Usyk isn't the goods?
If he can hurt him, if he can win maybe 4 rounds, I would question Usyk. He might have to go back down to cruiserweight and reign there if he has any trouble. And I just want to say I will be watching closely on this fight, but you guys got it here first. You heard it here first. Usyk, 11th round stoppage. So he shouldn't have any problems, okay? That's my prediction. Thank you, guys. Guys, have a great night.
All right, take care, Vinny.
Right. Answer my emails to you. Trying to help him out, Bucho. I'm trying to help him out. This is what I try to do with people, and they shun me away.
It's showtime.
Yeah, well, he doesn't want any of your advice.
Let me ask. Recognize who's in here. Recognize, how you doing, man? All right. I guess he's not here.
No.
Was he here, or was that sound bites that you would recognize?
I thought he was here, man.
Well, listen. That's the thing about Usyk. I was rewatching the Bellew fight.
Uh-huh.
Some people have said, "Oh, wait, Bellew gave him a tough fight, so he's not."
Let's recognize.
Yeah, oh, jeez. Oh, my God. I could actually hear the turd sliding through the toilet as he flushed it. Recognize. Oh, no, wait, that's a soundbite, Bucho, right?
Huh? That's recognize, man.
Was that a soundbite, Bucho, or was that really Recognize taking a dump?
Recognize taking a dump, man.
I was taking a dump. I apologize for that.
Don't worry about it.
All right, go ahead.
Listen, I was going to wait till I finished, but when Vinny called himself a gentle giant, I had to jump on.
I'm sure. I hope you wiped, and I hope you did it standing up. That's the only way you do it. But listen, the point is this. I was going to ask you, Recognize, because we were talking about Andy Ruiz. Okay, we're talking heavyweights. Might as well talk about Andy Ruiz. Bucho keeps bringing up that video about Ruiz stuffing his face with food, nachos and whatnot during some sort of soccer game. I don't know what Mexicans watch over there nowadays, but he was stuffing his face with food. And we're talking about whether somebody that's that fat, whether it's a professional boxer or not, doesn't that seem like a weakness to you from a mental standpoint?
You know, it might be a weakness one day for him, but so far it hasn't been. He's been whipping dudes' ass. I mean, even Parker, he lost that fight, officially, but kind of got the best of him.
A little bit.
I think it's going to backfire on him. You know who's the guy that could do that? I mean, obviously, Joshua could do it, maybe in the rematch. Wilder, Usyk. I think Usyk could do it boxing-wise. Like, he can, like those guys might have to get lucky and land a punch and knock him out, where Usyk might outbox him completely, not get lucky.
Uh-huh.
That's what I've been thinking, BDA, because look, these fights are being they're real competitive. You look at Davidiachenko versus GGG, Canelo versus GGG. All these fights are coming down to the wire. In this day and age, you have to prepare yourself like that in these elite fights in order to have that edge.
Exactly. That's what my theory is. My theory. My whole thing is this. What I'm trying to get across is that if you're not training properly and you're overeating and you can't control your eating habits, that might spread into other aspects. I mean, we've seen Ruiz step it up against Parker in the late rounds, but we never seen him actually have to. Well, actually, no, that's not true. He did come up from against when he got dropped against Joshua. He did show that he could stand against adversity and overcome that. But I don't know, man. I mean, when somebody cannot control his eating habits, what else can he control?
Okay. This is what we know, though. AJ is looking leaner. That's for sure, man. I've seen the pictures. He does look a bit leaner. So now let's say he takes this fight to the past the 8th round, and he's still, in decent shape. Didn't get knocked down, whatever. I don't care what they say about Ruiz. Oh, he has good stamina. Yeah, but he has good stamina relative to fucking other fat people. But he's still fat. And I'm pretty sure that's not good in the long run during a fucking professional fight. Yeah, people mentioned the Parker fight. People mentioned the Parker fight. But that fight, there wasn't much action going on. So, of course, he was, he wasn't gassed, that tired.
That's a good point. What happens if he gets out of his comfort zone? Gonzalo, what do you disagree with what Bucha said?
He has unusually fast hands and very good waist movement, and his legs are not slow like people would like to say, but they're not as fast as his hands. So by comparison, he looks slower. Okay, and I think the eating habits. Yeah, it's not a good thing, but it's one of those things to where you can say, okay, if a fat guy eats and he's slow, that's bad. But where this guy is fat, he's like faster than all these other guys. Yeah. To where right now, Recognize was saying it hasn't hurt him yet, but in the long run it might. But against Joshua, it won't, in my estimation.
I'm not saying he's going to be slow because he's fat. I'm saying he's going to get tired. I mean, but he was eating a lot of jabs from Joshua, straight punches. Not just jab, but straight rights as well. As he was coming in, I know he moves his waist and his head, but he was still eating some fucking jabs, man. Joshua's still bigger, man. And, he's a decent... His precision is not that bad, right? So let's say that AJ manages to stay back and use his range for 8 rounds, and you have a fat guy just following him, trying to use his speed, trying to cut the distance. I can start seeing him get tired just because he's fat. That's a lot of work, man.
Well, Prasad said that point when we were talking about Luis in one episode. He says, listen, whether you like it or not, excess fat will affect you negatively at some point.
Yeah, especially once you start getting older. Yeah.
Yeah, and well, that's your point, right? Recognize that at this point, maybe at this stage of his career, it might not affect him all that much, but maybe it doesn't even have to be at this stage of his career. Maybe it just has to be at this stage or a specific stage in a fight. What if Joshua starts bringing it to him?
Yeah, that's a good point. What he's got going for himself is that boy got fucking hands, man. Like if he was a street fighter, I could imagine him beating the fuck out of people's ass. Like I don't care who you are, with the way he knows how to time you, drop combinations. Like this dude would wipe out a bar of the toughest dudes. Like line them up, he'll knock them out. He's got great hands. He's got great timing.
That's a good analogy. Recognize. That's a good. You know how he moves his waist side to side, like Mike Tyson. He generates a lot of momentum. So that's where, when he's fighting somebody, he's waiting for that guy to throw the punch. And when he sees it coming, he generates momentum and dips down and over with that overhand right. And when he does that, Andy Ruiz has a lot of muscle in the back of his neck. Like a bear that digs up boulders. He's really strong in the back of the neck. That's why Andy Ruiz throws real good looping shots. He's got that momentum he generates when he goes down and over with that shot. Yeah, and the speed, good power.
When did Ruiz catch AJ?
Right after he got knocked down. AJ got a little too aggressive.
Yeah.
That's you don't ever want to do that against Ruiz. I think Ruiz will make you pay for that 99% of the time. I think that's how good his timing is. He's gonna make you pay for that. So it makes him dangerous. You know,
Yeah.
so because you have it's a natural instinct when you go on the attack, you land one punch, and let's say that it kind of buckles him, and you're like, oh shit, you know, you want to get that, you want to just get off the other one, see if you can hurt him, and if he's stabled, which most of the time he is, he's gonna hit you. He's gonna
Yeah.
hit you with a punch you don't see coming. He's gonna be more than one, right? And then on top of that, it's gonna be more than one. So that makes him even extra dangerous.
Well, you know what? That's true about that. As the fight goes on, like maybe we are making too much of him being a fatso. By the way, you mentioned that if he could wipe out a whole bar, if I were in that bar, whole different story. I'll just tell you that much right
I
now.
agree with that. I mean, we know that.
Hey, we have a phone call.
Like that
804, you're on the air. 804.
Cool.
Yo, what's up, Bucha? D Jefferson.
Oh, yeah, what's up?
What's up,
Who's
bro?
this?
I was just wanted to talk about the Usyk. Y'all were talking about Usyk. I got you. Thank you. All right, thanks, bro. Listen, man, I think all I have to see from Usyk, honestly, is if his power translates. If his power translates to the heavyweight division, he's gonna be a problem for everyone. That's how I look at Usyk. I mean, that's a talented dude.
Okay.
You know.
And if he doesn't have power?
I think he has power. You know, it's just like what the things he's been working on, and if that power translates to the heavyweight division. I mean, he fought heavyweight in the amateurs, so it's not like he's a stranger to the division.
Okay.
But if he has just, he doesn't even he don't have to be a knockout like one of these just if he has enough power to deter these guys and stun them a little bit, he's going to be a problem. He's going to be a problem because I don't even really think that there's anybody at the heavyweight division that you could say is a better boxer than him. They just say Tyson Fury's, skill set is probably, you can make an argument, but you can't say that he's better than him.
Who would cause Usyk the most problem? Who would cause Usyk the most problem?
Who would cause him the most problem?
Yep.
That's hard to say. Fury, you gotta imagine that Fury would cause him some problems because of the dimensions. He's 6'9" and he has a certain skill set of his own. But then Ruiz is pretty fast and aggressive, so I don't know, just like of the main guys that you hear, I believe some of these young lions coming up, people not paying attention to those guys, but Wilder's a wild card, man. It just takes one punch, and that's pretty much with anybody. And he finds a way to get that one punch in there. So it's not like I'm saying that Deontay Wilder causes Usyk any more problems than anyone else. It's just Wilder's problem is pretty much the end of the fight. You know what I mean? So some people can cause him problems, and Usyk will have to adjust. But the only problem Wilder's going to cause you is you're going to be knocked out. So it has to be dangerous for Usyk as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what Wilder has. He has the equalizer, and it's true. His fans are right about that. I won't even try to argue that because it's obvious. He can just bail himself out. I mean, look what happened with Fury. Fury's totally outclassing him for 12 rounds. And he almost got knocked out. I mean, he almost it almost worked for him. That's what makes him dangerous. So, other than that, boxing skill wise, man, he gets his head boxed in if he doesn't knock out guys like Andy Ruiz too. I'll be honest with you. If you don't knock out Andy Ruiz is outboxing him. And Usyk for sure would outbox him.
Yeah, a lot of guys, I mean, you can just imagine that a lot of guys are going to outbox Deontay Wilder. And it's not about, that's the thing with, again, I don't hate any of these fighters. I just love the combat sports in general. I love MMA as well. But when you look at these fighters, these boxers, it's not the fact that, can I outbox Wilder? Look, most of these guys can outbox Wilder. With Deontay Wilder, It's just the fact of, can I escape that right hand? I don't care how good these guys can box. Can you stay away from the right hand for 12 rounds? That's the key to Wilder. Because if you can't, you're going to lose. It's just that simple.
Yeah, makes sense. All right, D. Jefferson, we don't have to move on. We have another phone call, but thanks for calling, man.
Yeah. I appreciate you guys. Y'all take it easy.
All right, take care.
Peace.
We got another phone call. 954, you're on the air. 954.
It's for a lot of them, bro. It's county.
All right. More controversy surrounding Timothy Bradley versus Will Marquez. Fight's supposed to go down in October this year, but there's a dispute over drug testing. I took a look at Usyk's fight in this video, and I want to follow up on that. You have Bob Aaron. Okay. First, let me start with Tim Bradley. Timothy Bradley wants testing done by Wilder and USADA. Okay? That's in his contract for the fight. That there will be random testing by Wilder and USADA, both of them. Okay? Bradley's not playing any games, not taking any chances. Okay? Now...
Okay, Butcher, I think this is a...
Somebody's breaking the shit out of us. That's what
yeah, Butcher, this
I was like, well,
Why Will Marquez will have a problem?
Yeah, Butcher, have you gotten it so far?
Oh, man.
Wait, this is about Marquez?
Yeah, it's like, wait a minute. It sounds like somebody I know.
I recognize 954. That's my second hometown.
Hey, wait a minute. I thought your second hometown was Puerto Rico.
Well, that's where I was. That's where it all originated from.
That's the start. That's the start of the movie. That's the start of the movie. All right, Butch, is he still there? Because I wanted to see if he was a real caller and maybe he could answer questions, but...
no.
Okay.
D. Jefferson...
That was funny, though.
Anyway, I wanted to keep say something about Usyk, because we're talking about Ruiz, but yeah, let's talk about Usyk. I was saying something about Usyk in regards to the Tony Bellew fight. Some people were saying, well, you see, Tony Bellew was landing on him, so he's not that good. But Usyk was rattling him with his counterpunches, and he was figuring him out little by little. And let's not forget, sometimes it's not the bigger guy that's going to give Usyk problems. It's going to be a guy that's the same size.
I think a lot of people don't understand that, BDA. What you just said right there. It's so hard sometimes. It's harder to fight smaller guys sometimes. It just is. Especially if you got a lot of speed. Usually smaller guys have better skills because they have to. Right? The bigger guy kind of always just uses his strength, his brute strength over you, and he makes a lot of mistakes where the smaller guy, he has to be more tight with his defense and kind of like, bait you into getting hit. So, I don't know. I mean, look, again, it's going to be interesting. I'm not saying, it's written. I got a crystal ball. Usyk is going to be successful. He might not be. He might fail when it comes to the big guys.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, listen, obviously the guy is skilled, cleaned up the cruiserweight division. I would have liked to have seen him in there against what's his name, the Cuban guy. What I'm forgetting the names right now, but I'm very tired. But what was his name again? Torticos. I was gonna call him Doritos. Torticos. I would have liked to have seen that fight. Didn't happen. He beat everybody else. But now against the heavyweights, I don't. A lot of people on this panel. Well, not on this panel specifically, but in the past panels have said Usyk, all he needs to do is fight a good guy. He can beat some of these guys. A lot of them. It seems to me like it's a lot like with Errol Spence and his fans who were saying, well, all he has to do is he already beats these guys. All he has to do is get into the ring with them and he beats them. I want to see Usyk against a couple of heavyweights. I want to see how he does because that's always my standard. I want to see how he performs at heavyweight, and then we can start talking. Till then, I'm not really sure I'm not gonna bet money and say, oh yeah, he beats all these guys.
So you don't wanna. All right, hold on. Gonzalo, thank you for the contribution. He says Usyk is really funny dude, although he doesn't speak English. I think he will be popular now that he has left the most obscure division in boxing. Yeah, of course, everybody wants to get out of the cruiserweight division. Yeah, especially when there's no Americans. That's
the only thing worse. The only thing worse than being in the cruiserweight division, being in the strawweight division.
Yeah. Although, aren't they like a bit popular in Asia?
Nah, you know what else is popular in Asia? Tentacle porn.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
God.
What is that?
Damn freaks.
That was loud.
Yeah, sorry. Jesus, I was gonna say something. What the hell did you just say?
First of all, don't say that the Lord's name. Say Jeez. At least
Jesus. Jesus.
Tell him, Mr. BDA.
I was talking about Jesus, the Mexican janitor.
All right. Is he friends with Nopal?
Probably.
No, this is Nopal. I don't know his.
Nopal.
What was I gonna say? God damn it, Mr. BDA, you said something and then we made the joke. What the hell were you talking about?
Jeez. We were talking about the Usyk value. We were talking about the heavyweight.
That you don't want to make any. Okay, so some of us were saying here that Usyk has a great chance of beating Wilder. You don't want to go that far yet. You don't feel comfortable making that prediction.
Usyk would beat Wilder.
Yeah.
I'm very uncomfortable making that prediction.
Me too. Before he even decided to, I always said this guy would beat him. Look, I don't like, and we all know he can knock him out. Okay, besides that, can you outbox him? No, you can't.
Gonzalo said that. Gonzalo said that he can make things very awkward, and I said that I came to the realization that Wilder is a tough cookie for almost anybody because of his height, because of his reflexes, and because of the fact that he combines all of those things with his power. And it's not all that easy to hit him. I mean, look at Tyson Fury. He wasn't necessarily teeing off on the guy. Now, here's one difference, though. Tyson Fury's right hand stinks. It ain't good. Usyk, on the other hand, both hands. He can light you up with those two hands.
Yeah, and the angle, he's going to be moving to where he's not going to be stationary, Fury, he's mobile, but he's still 6'9". He's a big target. Freaking, what's that guy? Brazil, big guy, stationary. In that rematch with the Haitian guy, they were all there for the taking. This guy's going to be moving all over the ring. And
well, first of all, I got to correct you on one little detail there. He what's his name? Fury is not 6'9".
6'7".
He's like 6'7", and 6'7.5" maybe.
If you don't believe
that whole thing about him being 6'9" is BS. I'm gonna keep saying it, man. Every episode nowadays.
Magic Johnson. How tall is Magic Johnson?
6'9".
Yeah. I'm gonna check again.
But put the picture up, or the side to side. You can see Tyson Fury is about 1.5 inches shorter than Magic Potion. That's what I call him. Because this guy, how come he's not dead yet? Anyway, what?
Okay, I went to Wikipedia. Magic Johnson, 6'9". So Tyson Fury 6'9", supposedly, right? So now we're gonna post that picture.
I saw that picture.
What if he was wearing shoes and Fury was wearing sandals or something?
I think Fury is 6'9". I think he is, and I'm gonna tell you why. When Wilder was standing next to Magic Johnson, he looked about 2 inches shorter. In the ring, Fury was 2 inches taller than Wilder. You can tell that he has about 2 inches in height over. You got to go by the back of the head, and you can see that, he's one of those big guys that don't stand their height. They kind of slouch over. So you always you don't know what fucking height they are. You're like, nah, no way this guy's 6'9".
It's like a 2 extra inches if he actually would stand up straight.
Yes, if you say, yo, listen, dude, I need you to stand straight. Pick your head up, stand straight up. He's
like a man. Like a man.
Mr. BDA.
Yeah, like a man, right.
Mr. BDA.
Exactly. Like, how your father say, hey, stand up straight like a man. Don't be a
That's
pussy.
right. Don't be a bum.
Hey, Mr. B, remember we knew somebody that was hunched like that, and then somebody said, no, but if he actually stands up straight, he's fucking tall.
Sorry, you could have. What'd you say?
So, remember somebody we knew was hunched like that? Like the hunchback of Notre Dame?
Right.
And then somebody else said, like, no, but this guy, if he actually stands up straight, he's fucking tall.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you guys think he's doing that on purpose? He's crouching and because he wants to, get people's defenses down a little bit.
He's lazy. I don't think it's.
Man. I'm gonna
just
show
lazy.
you. I'm gonna show you the picture.
Well, there's a picture right there of Tyson Fury with Magic Johnson. What is Tyson Fury wearing? Is he wearing wallpaper or something?
I don't know. He was wearing like all the past heavyweight champions, lineal heavyweight champions from the beginning till him, I guess.
But that picture right there.
Come on.
I guess it's better than the panda pajamas. That
Either
Canelo
Magic
wears.
Johnson got taller.
He sold
Either
the
Magic Johnson got taller, or
sold the
or
apes
Fury's
medicine.
not 6'9".
I don't know.
It's a little better than the panda pajamas Canelo wears.
Yo, that's fucking weird. The panda pajamas that the guy was wearing. That's weird.
Oh, hold on, guys. If
You don't know what the pandas, what it represents. You don't know what that means, brother.
No, what is it?
I'll let you look up the video. Panda.
I don't think I want to look at it.
It's a rap video.
Yeah.
Look, guys, look at the feet. Some people are saying that Tyson Fury is actually in the background, a little bit more in the background, so that's why he looks shorter. But that makes no sense. It's supposed to be the up. I don't know what I'm talking about. Oh yeah, if you're in the foreground, you're supposed to look taller, and if you're in the background, you're gonna look taller. I mean, shorter.
Yo, Magic Johnson's head makes big though.
They're close. They're close. I thought, yeah, they look closer now. Look at the shoulders, Bucho. Look at the shoulder length, the shoulder height.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm willing to bet he's 6'9" too.
All right. Well, why are we even? Yeah, what are we discussing?
But he's either 6'9" or close to it, right?
Seamus carrying the chat saying, "Are you guys serious? It's an inch. it's an inch, give or take." Well,
yeah.
Oh man.
Who gives a fuck? I don't care if he's 6'9".
Yeah, Bucho, why'd you bring this up, man?
I don't know.
Because that damn box Rick.
It was a joke. I brought it up. Nobody noticed. Anyway, listen. The point is, Usyk again. I'm not gonna bet money just yet, because that's what I do, guys. When a guy is moving up in weight or wants to move up in weight, I gotta see him compete against some of these guys his height or his weight. Okay, I'm not just gonna go ahead and say he can beat everybody, because
shit.
Errol Spence does.
Alright, we have DJ.
What's up, fellas? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, welcome to the show, man.
All right, how y'all guys doing tonight?
Pretty good.
Good. Ready for
man. So, yeah, man. Back to Usyk. You know, I don't want to beat a dead horse, but I've liked Usyk for a long time. And when he was in the cruiserweights, I was like, he should go up to heavyweight and test himself. Now he doing it. Like, I can't have nothing but respect for Usyk right now.
Yeah. Do you get offended when people say that Usyk would be the favorite when he fights Wilder, if he fights Wilder?
I don't get offended when people say Usyk would be the favorite if he fights anybody.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, you know, if you can, like, you can have a point with Usyk. That's the thing. Like, his skill set is enough where you can make an argument that he will give any of these guys a problem. If you look at these guys, these heavyweights from 15th rank to the first rank heavyweight, none of these guys are really from the other. I mean, these guys, they're not that high level competition where you can separate one from the rest of them.
Yeah. Do you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear
okay,
you.
guys. I think something. Anyways. No, you're right, man. Okay. Yeah, because yesterday, I don't know if you watched our show, there was a bunch of people that were complaining, that we are exaggerating, that we haven't even seen Usyk in the heavyweight division, and yet we're already making all these predictions. Well, it's kind of true, but at the same time, we already know how good Usyk is. So, and it's not like he's a midget.
The thing is this: like, I don't understand how all of these guys can. A lot of the guys complaining, right? I bet you a lot of these guys didn't have a problem when Crawford was stepping up to 147, and he hadn't proven as much, but they were already saying that he could beat everybody. It's pretty much the same thing, because look, both of these guys went undisputed, and they both displayed a high skill level. So if Crawford steps up to 147, and before he puts a glove on anybody, you guys are already talking about he can beat everybody. What's wrong with people saying Usyk can do the same thing?
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand.
Good point. Good comparison.
Well, that's exactly why I don't want to say that about Usyk. I never said that about Golovkin. I never said that about Earl Spence. I'm not going to start saying that about Usyk until he steps up against a decent heavyweight. And if he takes out Chaz Witherspoon, or G's Witherspoon, as Bucho calls him behind closed doors. Then, if he does that in comprehensive fashion, okay, then that's the first step right there.
All right, yeah, I agree with that. So I just say his power. I'm going to stick with that right now. If he doesn't have to have, and again, like, I have to clear that up, because some people are drunk off of power. And if you mention power, they get it misconstrued, what you're saying. I'm not saying that he has to go in there and be a Wilder or a Ruiz or Anthony Joshua and knock guys out. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is if he has enough power to deter a guy, he's there to hit him and like, oh, damn. If he has enough power to do that, that's enough power for him to beat damn near everyone, because his skill set is at a high enough level where if his power translates at least that much, then he's going to be a problem for anyone he gets in the ring with.
Yeah, that's true. But then that poses the question, how's he going to fight Chaz Witherspoon tonight? Because Chaz Witherspoon, he's got a pretty good knockout percentage. I mean, I know it's been against guys that nobody's ever heard of, but still, there's other completely overrated prospects out there who can't even knock or stop some of these tomato cans. So we know he can crack a little bit. So how do you guys think Usyk is going to fight him tonight?
Usyk's going to beat his ass. I picked Usyk in my prediction league for the 5th round TKO. But I'm going to tell you something, man. These upsets this week, I'm doing really bad. I'm not even going to lie.
I think he'll knock him out. There'll be a lot of late stoppages with Usyk, because it's not the fact that he can't crack. He's just going to throw a lot of punches to lure you in, to get you to commit. Then he's going to change the angles on you and pick you apart. So he would only try to knock you out early if he thinks he can land those shots and you can't hit him, like by thoroughly outboxing you. But if he's not 100% sure that, he can get out of the way of a hard punch, he'll pick you apart until he is sure he can do that. And once he got you off balance, he'll go for the knockout. And I think, his boxing skills are good, that he's got the power, but he's not going to utilize it like 100% until he's sure that he can go in for the kill.
Right. Yeah, well, I think he's going to be sure that in about round 3, and then he's going to put him away in 5.
But you see that, like Mr. BDA was saying, what's his Chaz Witherspoon? I mean, he hasn't lost like in 8 fights, and he got power. So if he's smart, he's gonna kind of maintain himself to, like, we're just not gonna throw everything he has. He's gonna try to get a good read on Usyk, and then he's gonna save something to where when Usyk does decide to go for the kill, he got something to counter him with, a good power shot. Whether he can do that, I don't think so. But yeah, that's the game plan he should follow.
Yeah, it sounds good. I'll tell you that. It sounds like a good game plan, but we're gonna find out some things tonight, man. About
you
Usyk.
can't go balls to the wall. You can't go balls to the wall if you're Chaz Witherspoon and throw everything in the kitchen sink, because by the second round he's gonna have a good read on you. You're gonna be spent, and he's just gonna go for the kill. He's not even gonna try to pick you apart no more. He's gonna say, "I got this," and he's gonna go for the knockout.
What
But if
about
Chad Witherspoon is smart, he's
Yeah.
gonna keep something in the gas tank. He's gonna be wary. He's gonna go try
Yeah.
to.
There's a
He's
lot
gonna
of
try to set
background
up a
noise,
shot.
man. Somebody has background noise. I don't know if they're watching the fight or so
No,
yeah.
it ain't me. I got my volume.
Let me mute myself.
Alright, thanks.
It's interesting. We're talking. You can say something?
No.
Well, I would just, okay, real quick, because I gotta go get something to eat, Bucho. But it's interesting that what's his name, Usyk. We're talking about the power. If he has the power to compete, if he can hurt these guys, what if he's got that chin? What if he's got an Errol Spence type of chin where he can survive a car crash? Then what? I mean, this guy might just be fucking invincible in that division.
Yeah, I mean, they'd say, well, what if he doesn't have the what if he actually has power in the heavyweight division? What if he actually has a chin? You know what I mean? Why not? That's our possibilities. We're always talking about the negatives. Well, let's talk about the potential positives, the things I just mentioned.
That's a good point, man. Chin and power, and if he does, yep, that's a very, very valid and excellent point. And I'm gonna tell you like this, I'm all for it. I think that I've already said I think that what he has translates. Like I'm all for Usyk right now.
Mm-hmm.
If he survives, the initial assaults from a heavyweight later on, having so much weight is a disadvantage for a bigger heavyweight, to where he can still be fleet-footed, fast hands, and land those combinations from those ankles, to where he's gonna surprise the bigger guys. The bigger they are, the harder they fall, like the saying says.
Yep.
Usyk also has, I believe he's underestimated. Questions are going to be answered, man. These questions are going to be answered by this guy. He's done enough. He has. I think that the comment about his chin. Yeah, I believe he does have a good chin.
Well, we'll find out.
But yeah, but he doesn't really have to. Like he the way he fights in the ring. It's not like he has to get hit. He has good movement. You know what I mean? So it's not like we have to see Usyk get hit. I believe he's going to totally outbox Witherspoon.
Yeah, me too.
He's a confident guy in his boxing skills. That's for sure. He's like Andy Ruiz. You don't have to be brag or anything. You could tell they're sure of themselves.
Now, is there any relation between him and Tim Witherspoon?
Yeah, is his brother or cousin or some brother or cousin?
I think he's his uncle.
Uncle.
I was thinking that because they kind of
yeah, it has to be younger. Yeah. It's like fucking.
Yeah, he's definitely younger.
No, yeah. Right, we have a phone call. We have precise. You can jump in if you want. 267. You're on the air. 267.
Hey, what's going on? It's Rad Solik. Y'all hear me?
Yeah, what's up, man?
Yep.
Chilling. I think Usyk would do pretty good in the heavyweight division. Like, especially because, I don't know, people saying this is I guess like a parallel golden era to the past, but I don't really see it. I mean, a lot of these heavyweights, I was just watching a fight with Holyfield and Riddick Bowe. If you watch the first fight, I mean, the skills they show, the understanding the distance, the catching and shooting, the twisting in the inside, you don't really see that with none of the heavyweights. The only heavyweight that I can say can kind of emulate that is Joshua. He showed that in the Povetkin fight when he started twisting, I think to his right to take that left hook away from Povetkin that he was getting caught with. But a lot of these, I just don't know what happened to the skill level of just American fighters, period, but especially American heavyweights. You look at Dillian, okay, we say Usyk and Wilder, right? I mean, like I said, Wilder does have a right hand, but I mean, he's very, very predictable, and we haven't seen anyone really press him. Usyk is shorter than Wilder, and he tucks his elbows really well. But not only does he tuck his elbows really well, he can also tuck his elbows while like dipping your shot simultaneously and catching you. So I think Usyk, if he presses Wilder, he could definitely make Wilder uncomfortable. Because you look at mostly all of Wilder's knockouts, it pretty much like were guys that like never like came in and would pressure him like maybe like a Ernie Shavers would do, or like a Joe Frazier would do. Now I know the styles are totally different because they're shorter guys, but with the punching volume that Usyk has, Wilder doesn't really have fast feet. And when we did see him get pressured against that, I don't want to call him a bum, but what's the dude name with the dreads that just got the crap beat out of him by Joe Joyce? The one Wilder won the WBC.
Berman Stavern.
Bermain Stavern, yeah. If you look at Bermain Stavern, when he was fighting Wilder in the first fight, he kept swinging on Wilder, and he stayed close to Wilder. Wilder couldn't get that right hand on. So Usyk is much better than Bermain Stavern, and he tucks his elbows, and he just keeps throwing and keeps throwing and keeps throwing. Now, Michael Hunter gave Usyk a lot of problems for like the first 5 rounds with turning them and twisting them, but Wilder doesn't have the footwork to do that. Dillian White, fat ass, doesn't have the footwork to do that. I think he totally outboxes Andy Ruiz. Cause Andy Ruiz throws like a lot of arm punches, and like a lot of people don't tap his body. The thing is, the more muscle you have, the more like resistance you can take, like the more punishment you can take. I think when Joshua fights Ruiz again, he needs to be either jabbing at his chest or trying to touch his belly, while twisting out. He can do it because he did it with Povetkin. But I just wanted to ask y'all. I wanted to ask y'all something. What the hell happened? If you look at fighters in the past, like a Tim Witherspoon, or a Quick Tillis, or a Riddick Bowe, or even a Chris Bird, these dudes had like top level skills. You just don't see that in these heavyweights. Only one I can kind of see it in is Joshua, because he showed it in the Povetkin fight, and he has a really, really good jab. And he can hurt you from mid-distance or on the inside. He dropped Andy Ruiz with a tight left hook off a pivot. So I don't really see a lot of other heavyweights doing that. But what the hell happened to the skill set of like a lot of American fighters and heavyweights just in general? These dudes don't really got no skills, honestly. I agree with DJ. These dudes don't have any skills, man. Like for real.
Do they start late?
A lot of them start late. They transition from other sports. That's one of the issues.
Yeah.
One of the second issues is the modern day athlete in general, bro. And it's not just boxing. It's not just a problem in boxing, because I look at a lot of sports on my channel: football, basketball, MMA. And I'm telling you, the modern day athlete, and I'm going to exclude the MMA because a lot of those guys are still hungry, but these modern day athletes are getting paid a lot of money, man, and less for them to earn. And then they're enticed by the dollar, and they don't have that same dedication and drive. So they're not as into studying the craft, the sweet science, as they were before. It's more about social media and pay-per-view numbers and, the O, saving your O and all of this nonsense. And less about legacy and dedication to the sport. I mean, look at their habits in between fights. These guys, it's not just one guy blowing up in weight. It's a lot of these guys not treating their body right in between fights. So,
yeah,
what to do with why we don't see what we used to see before.
Well, though, a lot of the trainers are trash as well. Like, I mean, only like America. Like, if you look at Derrick James, all his fighters fight the same. They're all one-dimensional. I mean, I'm not trying to go on a tangent here, but I watched the Sean Porter and Earl Spence fight. Sean Porter won that fight, man. He won the first 9 rounds in that fight. I only gave Spence like maybe 3 rounds with a knockdown. That's 7-5. But, I mean, if you look at like a lot of these trainers, like if you look at Jamel Charlo or Earl Spence, they literally like do the same thing. They're like so predictable. Only fighters that I can say that really have like throwback skills that's American right now is Terrence Crawford and Julian Williams. Terrence Crawford is a dog. That's another thing I wanted to add, too. I called a while back, and I was saying that I put Lomachenko over Terrence Crawford on my pound-for-pound list. I have them tied, actually, because if you look, people say, well, who has Terrence Crawford fought? Terrence Crawford has done a lot. I mean, okay, he beat Beltran, who was a champion and was a number 2 guy at 140. Then he became the mandatory to Ricky Burns at 140. Went over to Scotland, beat him. Then he became lineal. I mean, that's 135. Then he became lineal at 140 and undisputed at 140. People were saying that Andongo was going to knock him out. They were saying he was too small for Jeff Horn. I mean, he beat Julio, Juan Diaz. Juan Diaz was a gold medalist. They just don't give gold medals out to anyone. So Terrence Crawford has done a lot. And also, Danny Garcia and Keith Thurman. Garcia and Keith Thurman, they admitted that I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, well, we're going to let also Precise, I think you want to jump in?
Whoever said that Ndongo was going to knock out Terrence Crawford needs to stop watching boxing. It's pathetic. I'm not doubting that they did, but that's just ridiculous.
Yeah, I didn't hear that.
Yeah, that's bad.
That's pretty bad.
But to kind of address, and I'm sure this is just part of the problem, but to kind of address what might have happened to American boxing skill. Look, if you keep getting gift decisions, whether you win, lose, or draw, you're always getting a gift decision. You kind of start to slack off, basically. That's only part of it. Don't get me wrong.
Interesting.
I blame
but that's a part of it. That's a part of it. I'll give you that. It's just a lot of variables, and that's definitely one of them. But it's a lot of it too. It's all about these athletes themselves. They have to have a level of dedication, and it's not there.
Dre, are you blaming all trainers globally or just American boxing trainers?
Well, heavyweight. I was talking about heavyweight in general, but outside of heavyweight, American fighters, because I just don't see no people that have top. I mean, if y'all got to go back and look at that Riddick Bowe and Holyfield 1 fight. I mean, the level of eliticism they shown was phenomenal. Y'all got to watch the fight and just look at the skill set they show. Or when Quick Tillers fought Mike Tyson, who I think Quick Tillers really beat Mike Tyson in that fight. But that's neither here nor there. Or even Tim Witherspoon, or a Chris Bird, those guys had skills, and a lot of these heavyweights, like the top 5 heavyweights, Dillian White. I mean, I don't think dude really has any skills. I mean, he's fat as hell. He has good power, but I think Usyk dusts him. Wilder, he has a good right hand, but I think if you press him and make him uncomfortable, he won't be able to land that right hand because he has to get extension on that right hand. His feet aren't really that fast, but that's easier said than done. Joshua was the only guy that I would say that remotely has like a top level of skill because what he can do, he can fight you from the inside, mid-range distance. He can hit you with either hand and hurt you with either hand. He really does have skills, and Klitschko attested to that as well. But the rest of those heavyweights, I don't want to say they trash, but they kind of below basic compared to the guys of yesteryears. But that's all I got. I don't want to hold y'all up. That's
all right, man. Dre, thanks for the call, man. Great points. We're going to be discussing that. But thanks for the call, man.
Y'all take it easy.
Take care.
Peace.
All right. Interesting observations there.
He's not impressed with the heavyweights. Let's just say that.
Yeah, but what's the cost, right? I mean, it's Precise saying they're slacking off because of the way boxing is working these days, right?
Well, it could be. Yeah, that's something to look at when you don't really have to earn a victory. I mean, your skills.
But look at Wilder. What motivation does he have to improve his craft? If there's a threat to him, that guy's just gonna fail the drug test. If somebody beats him in the ring, that guy's not gonna get the decision. You know what I mean? So why does he have to get better? For what reason?
So they just go 12 rounds. You're gonna get the decision. You fight bombs. How is that gonna help you improve? You know what I mean? It's like you're fighting lower competition. That's not gonna improve. That's gonna help you improve.
With all due respect to Wilder, though, thing that I've been saying about him, you don't look for him to get better in what aspect.
He's got the curse that a lot of people that have power do. They rely too much on it because he boxed well when he fought Vermeersterwerm the first time. And look, he started when he was 18. He's 34 now. So you just have to like rely more on your boxing than your power. He can improve in that sense, but where he can get that balance, I don't know.
I mean, develop a jab. Let's begin with the fundamentals. I mean, the jab, and then people say, well, why would he need to do that? Well, he was getting outboxed by Tyson Fury, like completely outboxed. Like that.
There's so many different things he could do better, or even add to his arsenal.
Yeah. I'll just say like this, bro. This is the thing with Wilder. He slight improvements. I understand what you guys saying, like, you know, working the body a little more, working his jab a little more, simple feints. That would improve him a lot. But the thing with him is what I call Wilder is like a knockout artist, a specialist, so to speak. I don't even look at him as one of these guys that to be a traditional boxer or anything. What he's going to do is seek, search, find, and destroy, like a heat-sinking missile, bro. Who they put in front of him. So it's not really the fact. I'm not ever looking for Wilder to show but so much improvement. I'm looking to see who is the first guy that can escape the right hand. That's the thing. It's not about seeing Wilder outbox someone or no. Watch Wilder do what he does, knock guys out.
Yeah, but he's knocking out. It's like a heat-seeking missile that's hitting second-generation jet fighters or something like that. And now you get like the newer jet planes, the better jet planes. They're not gonna, you know, the heat-seeking missiles not gonna get those. Right? What I mean? And yes, he's been destroying a lot of shitty jet fighter planes. Let's put it that way. But now he's fighting like he's fucking going against an like stealth bomber or whatever. Like. It's a different game now.
And I think Bucho is that he's been in trouble plenty of times. Like he's been getting outboxed plenty of times. He's been in trouble plenty of times. You know what I mean? I think that he's just one of those guys. Like it was guys that I knew in the streets that they were always fighting somebody, and that's just how they were. They will find out a way to beat you, to knock you out. Like they would just knock everybody out that they fought. And that's what I see with Wilder. It's like it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you bring to the table. He's going to find a way to slip his right hand in. So it's the opponent. Can you outbox him?
Yes.
That right hand.
A good boxer
Yes.
like Fury was there for the taking after a 2-year layoff. He's still 6'9". He's a big target. Even though he's elusive, you're gonna find where that guy's gonna have to take his breaks. 6'9" and moving constantly throughout 12 rounds. No, there's going to be moments where Fury's there to get hit. Just because he's elusive doesn't mean he's elusive like a smaller guy. He's a big guy. He's going to take his break. And that's what happened. He got caught.
Right, and then everybody gives Otto Vailene the full credit for being the first one to catch Fury. Wilder caught him. Like, Fury's my guy, but Wilder caught him.
Fury's been knocked down like 3 or 4 times in his career.
Yeah, 3 times.
By McDermott,
Cunningham,
and Wilder.
Yeah.
McDermott?
Early on in his career, I think he got caught and knocked down.
Every
Maybe
time,
not. Anyway,
every time he's gotten up and he's done, just like even with Wilder, he got up, he whopped Wilder. That's why Wilder couldn't finish him. He popped Wilder real good and he couldn't finish him. So every time he got up and did what he was supposed to do.
So Wilder shouldn't improve on anything, or he can't, or he doesn't want to?
No. I'm not saying he shouldn't, Bucho. I'm not saying that, brother. I'm just saying that looking for Wilder to make, these vast improvements, to turn into what he's not. He's not a traditional boxer. That's not Wilder. So there's no need for me to look for that in Wilder.
No one's looking for it. Like when I made that point, I wasn't saying I'm looking for him to do that. He's too old to change. He's not going to change. He is who he is. But what I'm saying, no. I get you. Like he is who he is. I get that. I think though, if he was brought up properly and put in some like increasingly tougher fights as they were building this profile, he might have actually picked up these skills and learned them, but he was just knocking over bombs, man, and that that never motivated him to really work on anything, because he was good enough to do that. And I mean, he's good enough to beat anybody in the division, but if he had a good foundation, he might just be the best period with all the belts. Who knows?
That's a fact, bro. That's the fact. I can't argue that at all.
The problem happened was after the Bermain-Stavern fight, when being the WBC champion and the responsibilities that were going to come with that. Shelly Finkel said it. I mean, he said it when they were like, "Oh, why don't you put him in there with Vladimir Klitschko?" And he referred to Wilder as a prospect, and you started to see. I'm not saying Bermain Stavern was like a fucking great litmus test, but he was a belt holder. If you look at the competition after that, he never met his obligation in fighting Povetkin, who was the number one contender. He started fighting guys that were probably less than Bermain Stavern, and of course, his skill. The time for him to develop his skill set was right at that fight and beyond. Bermain Stavern. You saw him box. It wasn't like the greatest, but it was pretty simple, and he outboxed Bermain Stavern pretty easily. And they didn't capitalize on that. That was their opportunity to make him develop all type of skills. And they were not willing to take that risk because I guess they saw him as a liability if they kept putting him in there with the likes of Bermain Stavern at that time,
Oh shit! Yeah, no, that's a good point. He missed that. How would you call it? Growing phase, evolutionary phase,
his advancement stage.
Advancement stage. Yeah, it's true. It's true. If he would have had more fights like that, Stavern first fight, he would have improved because you're learning. It's like you're in a real fight, man. But
it does a lot for a fighter when you move up a level and you can beat guys that you're not too sure. I mean, you think you can beat them, but you're not too sure you can beat the next level guys, and you actually go in there and win. It actually does a lot for your confidence level as a fighter, and I think they just missed that opportunity. They missed it. Now, certainly, he's gone on to like beat guys like Luis Ortiz, and again, not saying Luis Ortiz is a great fighter, but even old Ortiz is better than the shitty competition he was going up against. And he was able to pull out a knockout. And so he's at where he's at now. So he does, to Precise's point, it's like, if he's doing this now, it's like at 34, he doesn't feel that first of all, he can't. Like, I don't think mentally, not saying that 34 you can't change your stripes in the way you fight, but it's very unlikely that he will. So he's gonna ride this out.
See where it goes. Go ahead, Precise.
Even if you look at that Ortiz fight, this goes to my point about Wilder being spoiled and allowed to, giving gifts. Because if that was Deontay Wilder who had Ortiz out on his feet like he had Deontay Wilder, we all know that fight would have been stopped. Like, we understand that that's what would have happened because that's what happened to Gerald Washington, right? He got hurt and the ref just jumped in and stopped the fight. So, Wilder was in trouble there, and Ortiz would not have gotten that same benefit of the doubt, right? So
no. What's up? What's up, y'all? What's up, Precise?
What's up, man? Go ahead.
What up, Johnny boy?
What up? No, hey,
Go ahead. Yeah.
Shit, I was just gonna say, yeah, Precise is right, man. And like I say, you'd have to be the stupidest son of a bitch on earth to pay for that goddamn fight. I'm trying to watch my mouth. My boy's got his kids running around over here.
Yeah, I'm not buying that fight, bro.
I want to believe he can win, but I just don't see it, man.
You know what escapes me, guys?
What?
Precise. How did Wilder go from fighting lower tier competition to like all of a sudden he's an all-time great just because he had 2-3 good performances? Where was the middle ground in all this?
Well,
come on, man.
Who's
saying called him an all-time great?
He's saying that? I think his fans. Well, some of his fans,
like
not of his fans.
9 fights away from breaking the record, and he's got all the punching power. Okay. Yeah. So a lot of people have fallen in love with that, where they missed the whole concept that they were calling him overrated to like after 2-3 performances. Now he's in the category to where everybody. Well, I'm not saying everybody. A lot of people are speaking so highly of him to where they missed that middle ground. Whatever happened to that part of his career?
Are we talking about Marciano's record?
Yeah, or that or Mayweather's by comparison, undefeated.
But look,
50 and
man,
0.
look, think about this though. Think about this. Now, come on, we got to think about this logically. 9 fights away, and you fighting like twice a year. Now, we just talked about his skill level and the fact that he relies so much on his right hand. You mean to tell me that he's going to do this for the next 8 years? Hell no. Hell no.
No,
He'll be 42.
someone's gonna beat
Wilder,
him.
yeah, Wilder will do this for the next 8 years. They might as well stop talking about that, or he better get to fighting
No,
3 or 4 times a year.
From the jump too, bro.
You're breaking up, Johnny boy. You're breaking up. And by the way, guys, if there's background noise, make sure that Johnny boy, you're breaking up pretty bad. You sound like a robot. But like Precise said, Wilder's gonna lose at some point, in my opinion. So that whatever all the defenses he's gonna have are gonna be, the chain is gonna be broken, right? Right now he has 9 WBC heavyweight title defenses, and some people want to make it out to be as if it's some sort of achievement, but I don't know. He hasn't even. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Bucho.
No, you're still kind of breaking up, man. Drop out and come back in or something.
All right.
Anyways, so.
But Triple G, who is twice as many, is a bum, right?
No, this is the heavyweight, Precise. I've heard it
so
all,
it's
man.
different.
I've heard it all, man. I also heard that the WBC is a prestigious belt as opposed to like the IBF or something. It's like,
Well,
yeah.
Well, with the WBF, I mean, the WBF, the WBC belt,
yeah,
over the IBF, it's not about, like, to us, to boxing fans, at least, knowledgeable boxing fans, that IBF belt and body, I got more respect for them because they actually enforce the mandatories, and that's how it should be. But the fighters, for some reason, covet that green belt, man.
Because you can get away with whatever you want, I think.
I mean, for whatever reason, that's why it's so prestigious, because the fighters want it. That's where all the money is. So the fighters are going to gravitate toward the belt, regardless of what we think.
Yeah.
Ask Canelo if the WBC lets you get away with shit or not.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
Right. Ask Mikey Garcia if the WBC lets you get away with shit or not.
Yeah, but I understand also, yeah, it's true. But some fighters, like, they look at the WBC, and I remember Fernando Vargas back in the days was like, I want a WBC belt because that's the belt that Chavez had, But it's trivial shit. I mean, nobody cares. I mean, we boxing fans, we know that. It doesn't matter.
Man, speaking of that, real quick, Booch, not to change subjects, but I'm sick of fucking Fernando. He's still pissed off about that Tito fight 20 fucking years ago. Bro, shut the fuck up.
Really? The low blows?
No, just because he got his head cracked. That's why he's pissed off. He got his ass whooped. He's upset. He's still butthurt about it, like a faggot.
All right, calm down, Johnny boy. Have a cup of tea and relax.
I like the WBC belt. They say that a belt usually weighs around 8 pounds and it's made of solid gold. I like the WBC belt and the IBF. I think they're the nicest looking ones.
Oh, yeah, looking wise, the WBC is the best looking one, in my opinion.
So they can design a belt. Whoop-de-fucking do.
Yeah, hey. Now, what's and Precise can fucking help me out with this. What's the title defense record? It's Lewis, Klitschko, Larry Holmes.
I'm gonna look it up.
25, Lewis.
Yeah. I know the number. I'm saying, and then I think Ali had like 10. Tyson had like 10. Frazier had like 9. It's something like that.
I got it over
I don't
here.
know the.
Joe Louis 26.
Yeah.
Klitschko,
no, it's 25.
It says here 26, man.
It's wrong.
Okay, something. All right. Klitschko 18. I'm on Wikipedia, by the way. Larry Holmes 19. 19. Larry Holmes.
No.
Jack Dempsey
What?
9.
Yeah, no, that's Wikipedia's full of shit. It was
okay.
Larry Holmes had 20. I think Klitschko had 21 or 22. And Joe Louis definitely had 25.
Oh wait, are you counting the WBO?
I don't fucking know.
Well, that's the thing. Though. The WBO before 2007 wasn't considered a legitimate title, though.
Oh.
That's that's the problem with this shit, though.
And I think, Muhammad had fucking 9 or 10 too. He's like 5th or 6th, I think. So, but and how many defenses does Wilder got? 10,
9,
11.
I think
9.
9.
Okay,
it's gonna be 10 next month
against the fucking Fidel Castro's pension fund. You know, get the fuck out. Listen, man. Listen, I know Luis Ortiz is doing all the sit-ups he can in the nursing home. I know this. I know the nurse is holding his feet for him to do sit-ups. She's washing his ass because he's so old he can't even wipe his ass. She's fucking getting the stool samples from him, checking his blood pressure, like that.
That's concerning. Now listen, this is a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Seriously speaking, this is a pay-per-view.
I told everybody on a couple of my videos, I said, don't give none of these cocksuckers your money.
No.
Don't. I said that in a couple of videos, Butcher. I was like, you think these motherfuckers really deserve your hard-earned cash for this piece of shit? Like Spence Porter, fine, I can understand, fine.
Mm-hmm.
Or Pacquiao Thurman. But and I love Pacquiao, but even that Broner fucking fight shouldn't have been on pay-per-view. But come on.
Well, I'm not even, like I said, I'm not even paying for that. I'll watch it the next day. I'm not even, because I'm not paying for that, man.
No, because if people buy a pay-per-view, they're gonna do it again. We gotta send a message.
It's a goddamn good thing I didn't buy tickets to that Usyk fight.
Oh yeah,
motherfucker. They because first it was, it's not Usyk's fault. Don't get me wrong, but first it was Povetkin. That got canceled. Then it was Takam. That got fucking put off. Then Splooge pisses dirty, and then you got this fucking yo-yo over here, and and you can't. These motherfuckers, at least where I was looking, them motherfuckers didn't even let you refund the tickets, bro. Y'all can fuck off with that shit. I was about to go down there too.
Yeah.
Didn't the guy test? He had his third test with Vada was negative. He was. Go ahead.
Doesn't anybody else think that like someone's trying to stall Usyk's debut in the heavyweight division? Like they're trying to, because he is a threat. He doesn't bring a lot of money, but he could beat anybody.
No, it makes sense.
But think about it, like this guy fails a drug test, and he's saying he's innocent. Then there's Takam, who like signed. I think the reason why the fight didn't happen is because somebody else signed them, and it's like, why the fuck is anybody signing Takam? For what reason? It's just weird, you know what I mean?
Precise. Maybe you can clear this up for me, because you know a little bit more about this shit than I do. How could Takam get signed by somebody else and then the fight's off when he already signed the contract for the fight? Or do we just assume he signed the contract for the fight? Like, I didn't understand that shit.
Well, from what I understand, he was a free agent and he asked for more money, and then somebody offered him, I forget who it was, but somebody offered him a deal, and he just went with that. But even if he signed with some minor promoter, why wouldn't they want to put him in there with Usyk? Like, that's a good opportunity.
Well, yeah,
it's more money.
It
just didn't make sense. It didn't make sense in any way, shape, or form. Unless Takam, unless they think he's like championship material, which he isn't.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Like, why would you sign with some fucking Joe Suck My Dick Promotions? Fucking throw the fight off. Like I just didn't. It didn't make, like you say, it didn't make no fucking sense.
But that's why I think there's something shady going on. Like people, there are interests that want to stall Usyk's entrance into the heavyweight division because there's a lot of unfinished business. There's Wilder, Fury, there's potentially Wilder, Joshua, and maybe even Fury, Joshua, and Usyk is gonna throw a wrench in all of that. You know what I mean? And now that there's Ruiz, Joshua Part 2, like he's a thorn in a lot of people's side, I think, and in my opinion, this is just speculation. Someone's stalling him out for whatever, for a little bit, you know.
Yeah, because Usyk could enforce his right to fight the WBO heavyweight champion. So
yeah.
It's a lot of merit to that, man. It's a lot of merit to that because I'm telling you now, if Usyk goes in there and destroys a low-level fighter, then they're gonna be like, okay, well, we expect that. But if he goes in there and destroys somebody that's, worth looking at, then it makes sense what you say. It makes perfect sense.
It's just weird that like they can't even get a goddamn tune-up going. You know what I mean? Like, how often do we see that happening? A guy can't even get his tune-up out of the way. You know what I mean? For what reason? All these guys are probably getting overpaid. It's the best opportunity of their life, and the dude that just pissed dirty, no one knows him, and he's claiming that he's clean, that this is bullshit. You know, I don't know. It's just shady to me. Boxing's shady as fuck.
You know what? You know what, dog? That kind of makes sense that there's some kind of shit going on because look, we all can agree upon that Usyk's down to fight whoever, wherever, right? We all agree upon this. Yeah, he's down to fight wherever, whoever, whenever, whatever. He's down. And the heavyweight division isn't like, at least this era of the heavyweight division isn't like that. These pussy motherfuckers talk a lot of barking and no biting going on. And I don't think Usyk, and they know Usyk's not trying to have that shit. He's trying to get down. You know what I'm saying? Like, it kind of makes sense to me that there would be a fucking little, like, let's try and keep this guy out of the bigger picture here kind of a deal. Because, look, man, and I think there's plenty of blame to go around, but, like, with AJ and Wilder, with Fury and Wilder, with with all them guys, there's been a lot of barking and not a lot of biting, bro. And Usyk is unlike these other motherfuckers, is down to fight whoever, whenever, whatever, bro. So I don't think they're ready for that shit, to be honest with you, because that's not how this new era of heavyweights is operating. They're fucking just talking a lot of shit and not fighting nobody. Let's keep it real, all of them boys.
Yeah, and there's already some plans going, like Precise said. You had Wilder, Fury. There might even be a third fight, depending on what happens. There could also be a third fight after between Joshua and Andy Ruiz, depending on what happens. So, why would you fucking allow Usyk? And how popular is Usyk, really? I mean, for us boxing fans, we're very interested in watching his fights and see where he goes. But for other people, maybe they don't even know who he is, man.
I'll tell you this. Right here, man. Usyk, what they trying to do is get all of the money out of the way. Comes in there and embarrasses somebody. So they're going to get all the money fights out of the way and then say, okay, cut him loose. And he just going to go beat them all up, bro.
That might be the plan, yeah. Like, I'm sorry.
Sorry, he was in an obscure division, and now that he's came into the limelight, into the heavyweight division, people are trying to do damage control because he's already like blowing up, and this is just the beginning.
The funny thing is that these fans that don't believe this shit happens, like, you can stall someone out. I mean, you could. You just got to know the right people. You can stall someone out, and then, like you said, I think it was D. Jefferson that said it. Like, let them make their money, and then cut him loose and say, look, if you could beat Usyk, you beat him. If you can't, oh well, we made our money already. Or it doesn't necessarily just have to be a Usyk. It could be anybody. It could just be, and I'm not saying that it's definite for sure. All right, so people need to calm down, man.
It could be Dubois. It could be a Jagba.
Right, exactly.
Guys.
You get what I'm saying? It could be all these different guys. Could be the heavyweights that are coming up now. You know, it's just it's real. This when you're fucking with money, bro, that's what happens.
Speaking of Dubois and Gorman, I don't know if anybody's interested, but like all boxing talking news, he's in the chat. He was apparently he's followed Gorman's career, and I never watched the guy, but he was saying that the guy didn't look like himself in that fight. So I went back and watched some of his older fights, and then I watched that Dubois fight. And it's like he was there to lose, man. He just kept throwing that counter left hook slap. Like, and that's all he did. But anyway, this is kind of off topic, kind of a bit of a tangent. But just to, like, to the point that this, especially the heavyweight division, man, this shit's like corrupt, man. There's so much dirt going on. There's just, I don't know, man. I don't trust half them fights to be real, man, to be honest with you. Because to me, Gorman, he looked decent. And then he gets in the ring with Dubois, who in my opinion he's awful. Don't get me wrong, he's young, he could get better, this and that, but he's not very good at all, in my opinion. And this Gorman guy gets in the ring with him, and he's just like asking to get hit with the right hand. It just didn't make any sense.
Nordic Warrior in the chat says Gorman is a typical feather-fisted gypsy. Okay.
I think Jaffe, the Nigerian kid, will fucking. I think he'll lay out Dubois.
But watch that fight. Like the UK guys are probably more interested in that. Watch that fight again, and someone explain to me why the only punch he's throwing is a counter left hook. Like, and he's asking to get hit with the right hand. It didn't make any sense to me. I think
so,
he wanted to lie down.
So what the guy was saying was that he usually doesn't box that way.
He's better than that, basically, is what he's saying.
I got you.
Yeah, and to me, Dubois, like, he's talented, he's young, he could still learn. I don't think he's very good at all, actually. If they make the Joe Joyce fight, I will be shocked.
It's like, precise, remember we were talking about, on BDA, we were talking about the Pedraza fight with Tank. Now, look, I won't go into the conspiracy thing because I'm not sure. If I wouldn't be surprised if people do stuff like that. It doesn't surprise me. Pedraza fought a stupid fucking fight. It was just stupid. Is he that dumb? Like, did he forget how to use movement, use angles? Did he just came in a straight line?
Well, he's lost to 3 left-handers in a row. That's the thing with Pedraza. He's lost against 3 left-handers. Only. But like, the 3 defeats are against left-handers.
You know, like, the way to fix a fight potentially could be something as simple as telling him that you get a $500,000 bonus if you knock Tank out. Right? Go in there and try to knock him out, and we give you $500,000 extra. And they don't have to make that public, you know what I mean? So he'll go in there trying to knock him out, which plays right into Tank's hand. You know what I mean? They could do something as stupid as that to fix a fight.
Yeah. Can y'all hear me? Am I still here?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, man. I agree, man. I just think that it's weird, but I'll tell you like this. Fight. I want to see any fight with him in it at the heavyweight division. Sometimes when you got guys at his level, at his skill level, it's not really. I think Usyk is going to go in here, prove something, and he's going to stop this guy.
I think Usyk is just the type of person, that just loves to fight. He loves to box. So this is just natural for him. It's second.
Yeah.
It's just like second nature. Like to go out there. Think about it. He's been doing it all his life, just about, as a boxer, for sure. Right? He's been battling for gold medals. He did that. He's he fought in the tournament, the cruiserweight tournament. I'm sure as a pretty prominent star, he could have made things easier for himself and say, have these guys fight me in the Ukraine.
Yeah. Did you see?
He could have done a lot. I think he gets off on this shit. Like,
Did you see that video, like the behind the scenes after the Gassiev fight? He's coming out of like the dressing room or whatever, and his mother's there, and she's crying, and then she says something like, like, oh, like, stop, please stop fighting or something like that. And then he just hugs her and he's smiling. And this is just the beginning. Like, this guy's on a fucking mission. No, I'm serious. Go check it out. This guy's on a mission, man.
There's guys that are, I'm sure we've all met them, right? That actually love to fight. They love the shit. It doesn't scare them. The more you talk about a certain guy, it's like being in the neighborhood. Yo, that guy over there, he beat the shit out of everybody. And you get this one guy, be like, I'll knock his head off. That's him. He's like, oh, I'm gonna tell him. Go ahead, go tell him. I'll tell him. I'll tell him to his face. Hey, I want to fight you. I heard you could beat up everybody. I want to get in there and fight you. I want to see if you can do that.
To be perfectly honest, man, that's Andy Ruiz too.
Yeah,
because
you're
even before
right,
Ruiz did what he did with Joshua, Ruiz, he was calling out everyone, man. Just go back and look at some of the footage on this guy, and he meant it. He was saying he was ready, but you know how it is. It's the same thing that's going on with Usyk. Right now, they're not trying to give these guys a shot. Andy Ruiz got a shot by default. They needed somebody to fill that void because Miller got popped, and they was having all of these problems. So, well, he took the belts. Now he's in there. Regardless, he's in there. But I'm gonna tell you like this, man. It's a lot of these guys that will give these heavyweights, these top rank heavyweights. They'll give them problems.
Yeah, I guess Andy Ruiz was the one that made the call. He contacted Eddie Hearn, and he got that opportunity.
Yeah. Yep.
Beats the hell of sitting around in your couch eating taquitos.
You see, the problem, look, Wilder's the kind of guy that has all the power in the world, but there's a part of him that's afraid to lose. There's a lot of false bravado going on. The screaming, the loud attitude. That's like him kind of hiding something. He's really afraid to lose and the reason why I say that is because he's so used to being, that's the big dog. That's the guy that'll knock your head off. That's the big guy. He'll knock your head off. He'll knock anybody's head off. And somebody goes in there and beats him. It's kind of like destroys that image.
Are you talking out of experience?
No. Although I've gotten my ass whipped before. I'm not going to say I haven't, but, it didn't.
Oh, any real fighter has. Any real fighter has. I've been there. I've been on the losing side.
Isn't it weird that Ruiz became champion when this was not what was supposed to take place? It was kind of like the order of things, kind of like, this is because somebody stepped down. To where, like, when somebody becomes champion, it's not always expected. Like when Pacquiao busted onto the scene, he was supposed to be the guy there to lose, right? On short notice, whatnot.
Yeah, bro, but that's the thing, though. Thing with Wilder. Wilder's one knockout away from losing the fight. I always say that. Not him get knocked out, which that could happen, but I'm just saying him not getting the knockout. With Fury, he loses. If he didn't get the knockout with Ortiz, he might have lost that fight. If he didn't get the knockout, with a few of these fights he's been in, he might have lost the fight because guys were outboxing him. So he's one knockout away from losing the fight. But thing is, he gets the knockout.
Yep.
It's so like when the promoters and the betting bookies, when they get it wrong, something happens. I'm pretty sure they didn't anticipate for that to go down, but it does sometimes. I love upsets, man.
Yeah, because it makes the sport human. Because as a human being, this shit happens. Like you're not a robot. Nobody is. Eventually, you fight somebody, he beats your ass. That's
this weekend been full of upsets.
Yeah. And that's what makes sports great. That's what makes boxing to me. Like I kind of, I like these upsets once in a while. Seeing the upset. I grew up a Roy Jones fan. I love Roy Jones. I didn't like everything he said, but I liked him as a fighter. I can't lie, man. When he got knocked out by Tarver, I thought that was some gangster shit. I thought it was like, wow. Tarver told this dude, "You got any excuses tonight, Roy? You got any excuses tonight?" Knocked him out in the second round. He backed that shit up. You know?
Yeah, but Tarver knocked out of Roy Wayne and out, man. I always say that. Tarver catch Roy, the Roy Jones we know in his prime. I just gotta say Roy would have beat the hell out of Tarver.
I'm with you. I think Roy would have beat him in his prime, but it was still like,
Man, you know.
I think if Roy would have never went up to fight Ruiz first, and then last minute fight Tarver, because that's exactly what happened if you look at the timeline.
Yeah.
Tarver was a last minute fight because the Corey Sanders, I can't even believe he was actually going to try to fight him, you know. But the Corey Sanders fight fell through, right? Because that fight wasn't interesting anymore with Roy getting stripped of the WBA belt because he was supposed to fight Ruiz in a rematch. But anyway, he goes down.
You're originally from Florida, right? Recognize and those two guys,
yeah,
they're from Florida, right? Tom's also from Florida, right?
Yeah, they got a little bit of a rival. One's from Orlando.
The backstory.
And the other one's from the Gulf Coast. So there's a little rival there.
Bruh. Tarver said back in the day, he said, do I think Roy's the best pound for pound fighter in the world? He said, fuck no, I don't even think he's the best fighter in Florida.
Yeah, he did say that. Yeah.
You know what? Can I say something about that? Because I always wondered why Roy Jones never stayed at heavyweight, because he wanted that Tyson fight. And if you remember, Tyson had gained a little bit of his soul back when he knocked out Clifford Etienne, I think in early 2003. And I always wonder, why didn't that fight happen? Well, apparently Andrew Ward was on the Joe Rogan podcast a couple of months ago, and he's affiliated with James Prince, and Ward said that James Prince offered Roy Jones some 50 mil, I think, for the Tyson fight, and Jones said, no, I want more. And the guy said, well, you'll get more in the pay-per-view back end, blah, blah. And Jones was like, I want more.
Yeah, Roy Jones was always, I want more upfront money. He was that type of person. But as much as I like Roy, man, he ducked the shit out of Darius Chesky. And I heard him. No, I heard him say it, bro. Not to say I'm ducking. He said that he's afraid for his life. Like, get out of here with that, bro. Stop that. What you mean you're afraid for your life to go to Germany? Nothing's gonna happen over there. The people over there are gonna kiss your ass. They're gonna love that you're there. You're gonna get paid. And if you could beat Chesky, which I think you could have, maybe you would have beat him, but you didn't want to take that risk.
There's a lot of Roy Jones fans in the chat.
I wouldn't go to Germany. I'll tell you that much right now.
Well, Julio Gonzalez did. The guy he wiped out for 12 rounds.
Chesky said he'd come to U.S. He said he would come and fight Roy in the U.S.
He would.
But the problem was,
he did.
The problem was that HBO wanted him to fight like 3 different fights before he got to Roy Jones, and he said, "Fuck all that."
Right, I'm making money in Germany. Like,
Yeah,
why the fuck
exactly.
do I need to fight 3 fights in on HBO for what?
Yeah.
Well, there you go. That's the problem right there. Michalowski was making all that money in Germany. Roy Jones was making all that money fighting Richard Frazier and David Telesco.
They should have fought in Saudi Arabia, bro.
Yeah,
that's
man,
true.
why
Yeah,
not, man?
make it in right next to the rock. What's it called? The rock there that the Muslims pray over the key.
I don't know. Ask Gypsy.
I'll tell you like this, man. Sometimes these fighters, bro, they just don't know when to hang the gloves up. Because if you think about it, if Roy would have went up to heavyweight and then just say, you know what, fuck it, I'm done.
Yeah.
Then, you know what I mean? His legacy would have been huge, bro.
But if Roy thought he would have got robbed when he fought Julio Gonzalez, fought Michalowski, how do you say his last name?
Chesky. Yeah.
Yeah,
You don't even know.
It's like
that fight was gonna break
Mijo
the record of
Chesky.
defenses in the light heavyweight division, the most years of a champion, and the more overall title defenses above Joe Louis. So like they gave it to Julio Gonzalez. It wasn't a given that they were gonna rob him.
And go look at that fight. That fight with I don't know, man. I was very surprised that they gave it to Gonzalez. If you look at that fight.
Well, you know what, man? Going back to the whole Roy Jones thing as well, about how he screwed up, man, by going down to 175 and taking. And let me tell you, I, along with a lot of people, thought that Roy Jones was gonna be invincible at 175 after dropping from heavyweight because he just looked so dominant against John Ruiz. But one thing for sure is that hurts Roy Jones is that 98 to 2002 period where he really 4 or 5 years, if you really want to push it, 4 or 5 years of him fighting nothing but outmatched opposition. There was even, I was rewatching, somebody put it up on YouTube, the Eric Lucas fight, which, I mean, Eric Lucas was a competent fighter here from Montreal, but he had no business being in there with Roy Jones. And I was rewatching that
He played a
HBO
basketball game.
telecast.
He played
Like
a
I said,
basket.
somebody put it. What?
He played a basketball game before fighting Lucas.
Yeah.
That
And he
sounds
fought like shit in that
Uh,
fight too.
Can I just say, Salido says, sorry, Salido, Unbiased Boxing, Bay Area Boxing, Salido is Loma's father. And then he also says, Loma got schooled by a drunk Mexican. All right, Unbiased, thank you for your contribution. But try to write something that makes sense.
Yeah, well, getting
what
back
I mean?
to the boxing, the fucking Eric Lucas, he, again, respect to the guy, he was a tough fighter here from Montreal, but he had no business being in there with a prime Roy Jones. And that's on that HBO telecast, they did a feature prior to the fight, essentially, roasting Roy Jones. They were talking to all these boxing writers, and they were saying that it was disgusting that this guy who was considered the number one pound for pound fighter was fighting scrubs. And I'm thinking, on the one hand, I don't like to be too harsh on the fighters, but then again, there's a precedent there that if you're not harsh enough, these motherfuckers do whatever they want, and they get to fight the opposition they want longer than we would like. So I think there's a balance that needs to be found there.
Look, what Roy Jones proved was that he was the best fighter in America. What he never got to prove was he was the best fighter in the world. With the American thing, yeah, I would definitely agree with that at the time because, he fought decent opposition. Yes, he fought a lot of bums. There were some good fighters that he fought at light heavyweight at the American level. Okay, there's a difference between the world level and American level. The guys in America, he fought them. Some of them were ranked high, right? A lot of it was politics because some of them sucked. They shouldn't have been that high ranked, but they were. And he beat those guys. He was far above, better than just about every American boxer in the light heavyweight division, probably in the super middleweight division, and maybe his little short stint at middleweight. All right, but where he fucked up was obviously he started thinking he was Superman. He can go down and disrespect Tarver and going there and thinking that he's gonna fuck Tarver up because Tarver got his jaw broken by Eric Harding and Roy broke his arm. You know what I'm saying? In a fight that they had. Harding was a pretty good fighter on the American level. He was a very strong fighter, and Roy, in a very lackluster fight, was aiming for his arm until it fucking dislocated or some shit. I forget what happened exactly.
Yeah, I think it dislocated or something.
Yeah, something weird happened there. And so Roy left a lot of, and trust me, like I said, man, big Roy Jones fan. I thought he was one of the best athletes I've ever seen. But he left.
But the thing.
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say the thing with the type of fighter that Roy Jones is, these very athletic fighters, and he may have been the most athletic light heavyweight ever. Maybe he was, but there is a blueprint on how to beat the guy. And if think about Marco Antonio Barrera versus the Prince, right? A very skilled technical fighter, not just anybody, obviously, but to be fair to Tarver, he had the style to beat Roy Jones Jr. Now, I thought Roy beat him in the first fight, and I think prime for prime, Roy beats him all day. But Tarver had what you needed to have in order to beat Roy Jones Jr., and I think we saw that in the Mike McCallum fight, where Roy didn't look like this phenom that he was supposed to be fighting, an old 40-year-old, I think, or something, Mike McCallum, who had come up in weight, and he was a middleweight, super middleweight, he struggled in that fight. He was doing all that fancy stuff, jumping in with these crazy punches. All you gotta do is put your fucking hands up and pop a jab, and that shit all of a sudden ain't all that effective. And that's exactly what Tarver did. He just popped a long jab, put his hands up, and I think that's why he didn't want to fight Michalczewski, because that was. I think if you put a gun to my head and you say prime for prime, I'm picking Roy Jones Jr. probably. However, Michalczewski had the nightmare style for someone like Roy Jones Jr. because he would have fought from behind a tight guard, probably blocked most of that stuff, and he was very tough anyway. He could take a punch, he could take a beating, and he would have just thrown that razor sharp rapier jab down the middle and right hand and hardly anything else. It would have been just straight punches straight down, and I think Roy would have had a nightmare of a performance against that guy. He probably would have beaten him, but I'm not too sure, man. Because again, these athletic guys, a very good technician beats them all day, every day.
Yeah, that's the best way of fighting. Straight down the middle, straight shots.
Yeah,
I'm gonna tell you like this, bro. Roy Jones and his prime, bro. I don't know. That dude was so elusive and so quick. The way he punched so hard, so quick with it, and he was so elusive, and you couldn't see it coming. It's always the punches you don't see coming. Those are the ones that knock you out, bro. You know what I mean? It's like Prince.
That's the thing. Sorry, when you rely so much on your reflexes, when they're gone and you didn't work on your boxing skills,
Gonzalo,
your reflexes are gone. That's the problem.
But
that's perfect. That's exactly what when I remember being so excited to show my father see a fight of Roy Jones, and my father said, "Yeah, like that's great and all that stuff." Kind of reminds me a little bit of Sugar Ray Leonard. But what's gonna happen when this guy meets a boxer that can fight? Yeah. What's gonna happen when that speed goes away? He told me like that. He's like, look, son, I'm impressed and all that, but I've seen this before, and there's ways to beat guys like that, and when they get old, it's over if they don't know boxing fundamentals.
But even look at that Bernard Hopkins fight, and Bernard really wasn't the Bernard that he was in his prime. Like, that was a green Bernard Hopkins that didn't, he hasn't fought anybody. And he gave Roy Jones Jr. a tough fight. He didn't get knocked out like all these other bums.
Not even close to.
Roy didn't look spectacular in that fight. He ran.
Yep.
And B-Hop just chased him around the ring. He couldn't really land on him because he was very elusive. But Roy really didn't dominate that fight. I thought he won 8 rounds, don't get me wrong, but he didn't dominate B-Hop. And he didn't want to fight. Well, I don't know. I'm not going to say that. Maybe it was B-Hop who didn't want to fight. But I just think that technically sound style with punches straight down the middle is kryptonite to these dudes, man. And you look at the guys that he avoided, Roy ducked a lot of fighters at 175, man. And even when he fought James Toney, which was a great victory, like Toney, he was great at certain things, but he really wasn't that kind of a technical fighter with punches straight down the middle.
Nordic Warrior is asking precise who would have won prime for prime, Roy Jones or Joe Calzaghe?
I don't know, man. I mean,
I would probably.
I probably would have picked Roy Jones personally. I think I might have.
Yeah.
But I didn't watch that much of Prime Calzaghe, so I don't know either. I only saw his Eubank fight.
Remember, Calzaghe broke
a couple
his hand.
Others.
Didn't he break his hand early in his career?
That's what I keep hearing. I don't know.
I'm not trying to make excuses for him, but look, I think Roy beats him. But the thing about the thing about Calzaghe, man, he can. Good luck on outpunching him. The most important thing in boxing. Okay, good luck on that. So the guy was like, he's just fucking. You hit him once, he hits you twice. You hit him 2 times, he hits you 3 times. Like, this guy was really good. But I think Roy would have beat him.
Just to rewind on the Roy Jones thing, and I want to see if we had, can touch up on the Calzaghe thing. The thing about Roy Jones, to what Precise was saying, was that he could lead. Roy Jones could not lead. And when I say lead, I mean pressure a guy. That's why so many of these, subpar guys were able to go 12 rounds with him. If you notice, most of the guys that didn't go 12 rounds with him or didn't go the distance rather, were crazy guys that tried to stand in front of him or who tried to pressure him. I forget the guy's name, but he fought some short dude in New York. I forget the guy's name. Rob Bryant, something.
Yeah,
Bryant.
I went to that fight too.
Oh yeah, you did. Yeah. Do you know what? We were filming Devil's Advocate that night there. But anyway, the point is, he tried to pressure Roy Jones. He got blitzed. David Telesco tried it. He got blitzed, and he decided to just back off. And that's what happens with these guys. Roy Jones could lead, even in the third Tarver fight, when his legs were almost shot. And they asked him, how come you couldn't beat Tarver the third time, whatever. He says, well, if you want to beat a guy like Tarver, you got to get down in the trenches, and I'm not that type of guy. He even admitted it. He never had
B-Hop.
Was that?
B-Hop chased him all around that ring all night for 12 rounds, and he wasn't anywhere close to stopping B-Hop. B-Hop wasn't boxing him; he was going after Roy Jones Jr.
Yeah, but that's about Hopkins. The motherfucker was going to war in Philadelphia. I mean, he was ready for that.
But that's what I'm saying. It would have taken a really good technical fighter to beat him, not just anybody, obviously.
Right, but that's the thing about Roy Jones is that I've seen fast guys. We've all seen fast guys, especially in the last couple of years. Zab Judah was very fast. Mayweather at 130 was pretty fast. Amir Khan, lightning fast at 135 as well. But Roy Jones was just on another level because I think it was D who said that this guy was a power puncher with fast hands and incredible reflexes. I mean, I've never seen anybody. Jean Pascal tried it, Calzaghe, Sergio Martinez to a certain extent, but nobody came close to Roy Jones. To what Roy Jones did in terms of his style. It's insane.
But he cherry-picked all these guys to look great against. And even if you look at, and yes, arguably wasn't the best, obviously wasn't the best Roy Jones Jr., but like someone basic like Glenn Johnson put his hands up and came forward behind a jab. That's like, fought him exactly the same way B-Hop fought him. You know what I mean? And I know it wasn't Prime Roy anymore, but like, that was the style to beat him. And then he got knocked down by, and I know he was already fucking way shot, but like these European style fighters that weren't all that great. But what did they have? They had good jabs, man.
But you know what, man? I don't even think that he lost those fights, the Glenn Johnson and second Tarver fight, and even the third Tarver fight. He didn't lose that because he was physically shot. That was a mental thing. He got broken mentally because...
Yes.
Here's what happened. He beat Tarver the first time. Even though he struggled, but he struggled based on Tarver's style and also the fact that he just got drained for that fight. He had nothing left in the tank. For the first time ever, we had to see him dig deep to pull off those last two rounds. Then the second Tarver fight comes along, and he tries to fight in a way that he's not used to, which is to back the other guy up. Boom, he gets caught. Now he comes back against Glenn Johnson. He thinks, all right, this guy's going to be easy. He's got like about 11 losses on his record. I'm just going to pick him apart. Whoops, turns out Glenn Johnson has gotten better by fighting all over the world. He's tough, he's hungry, he's at his peak, even though they're the same age. And I think the fact that he got beat up by Glenn Johnson just fucked him up mentally. The fact that he got... Bucha says, what's wrong with your mic? Well, what's wrong with my mic?
No, Gonzalo.
Dude, what people don't understand, he wasn't the same after getting knocked out by Tarver. If you look at that fight against Glenn Johnson, he didn't do anything. He was afraid, bro. He was just like standing there, getting outboxed by a slow fighter. And finally, he just lined him up. He said, okay, you're not going to do anything. He's going to knock you the fuck out. I'm going to let one do. That's what happened.
Yeah, because he never really reinvented himself. What are you going to do when you're trying to pull the same cat-like drills with those quick reflexes when your body doesn't allow you to do that anymore? He couldn't reinvent himself. He wasn't never like a really great boxer. He just had that natural ability.
Not only that, he had a poor mentality as a fighter. Like, you can tell that it broke him down. That knockout broke him down in the sense that it took away all the, for him, it took away all the accolades. I'm Roy Jones, the man. Not one of the man, the man. The number one guy.
But you know what? Sorry, I thought you were done.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead. No, I was just gonna say I think that Tarver knockout ended his career.
That's what I'm saying is because I think he got traumatized by those two back-to-back KO losses because my was going to be
the first one did it. what I'm saying is, no, I understand what you're saying, BDA. I'm saying the first one did it. It was over.
Yeah, because he always said, "Oh, after Gerald McClellan got all fucked up, he said, "Oh, I don't want to end up like that," which is probably explains why he started going on that cherry pick run in between '98 2002. But if you look at the third Tarver fight, he looked just as fast and as quick as ever. He just wasn't willing to go to war the way he did in the first fight. Because if you look at the first fight against Tarver, this is the smoking gun. He was laying on the ropes, letting Tarver hit him. You know, some of the punches were getting through, but he was relaxed on the ropes. If you watch the third fight, as soon as his back touches the ropes, he starts jittering, falling off balance, jumping all over the place, a la Erislandy Lara. That's the smoking gun. That it was a mental thing, not necessarily the physical thing. Because there was a fourth and fifth round, he started beating the crap out of Tarver off the ropes.
I remember that, yeah.
Right.
If it wasn't that in the later rounds, if it wasn't that Tarver didn't almost knock himself the fuck out, he would have knocked Roy out. Remember that?
Yeah, I
throwing
do.
punches. And next thing you know, he's hurt. Roy didn't throw one punch at him, and he's hurt. I'm like, and Tarver's leaning on the ropes. I don't know what's going on. Like, what the fuck is going on with
He was
Tarver?
off balance, I think. He was off balance.
Did he just almost knock himself out?
A lot of times guys can't get, you know, they once they get knocked out, they can't recover right, bro. Like they can't get back to their old form.
I remember watching it.
You know,
I remember watching that fight live when Roy got knocked out, bro. I was like 13 or 12 or 13 or something. I was watching on the couch with my pops, and we were both like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah, that's what that was like. Everyone's reaction when it happened, and he got knocked the fuck out. It was like,
well, you know what?
The phone started ringing. That's it. I was like, "Yo, did you just see that shit?"
Also, to Dee's point about the knockouts, the way he got knocked out, especially the Glenn Johnson fight, he fell back, like he's straight back, you know, like a drunk.
His body was stiff. Remember, his arm was all like in that weird position. He was all like stiff as fuck. Like his brain got smashed, man. His nervous system was all fucked up.
Impact against canvas was actually what did more damage at the punch, I think.
Bucho, he was stiffer than a preacher's dick.
Jesus Christ!
All right, can you kick him out? Can you kick him out there, Bucho?
Yeah, he's yeah.
What?
Shut the fuck up, fat man.
Hey.
Sorry, I wanted to play another thing.
The fuck wallet is yours?
Yeah, when he got knocked out with Glenn Johnson, I thought he died, like literally, man. I remember people were asking me, like, I forgot who it was. It was somebody close to me who couldn't watch the fight. And so he's like texting me or calling me, one of the two. And he's like, "Yo, what happened in the fight?" I was like, "Yo, he's knocked the fuck out. I think he's dead." No, I'm like,
he's dead, man.
He's actually dead.
Have you seen that video, you know, that compilation video when Pacquiao gets knocked out and the reactions, and there's this Filipino family, they're watching the fight, and boom, he gets knocked out, and then this woman goes, "Oh my God, he's dead. He killed him." Like so.
that was a vicious.
Oh no, they killed Manny Pacquiao. They killed the Manny Pacquiao, man. Oh man, Manny Pacquiao.
But Pacquiao is an example of somebody who bounces back off of a knockout. Like, you know what I mean?
He wanted to run it back by the guy who just put him to sleep.
Exactly.
Remember that story I told you off air, BDA?
Oh, the Achilles, Puerto Rican Achilles story.
that guy, yeah.
Yeah.
That's Pacquiao.
Do you guys remember how many people said Pacquiao should retire after the Floyd fight?
Yep.
They're just like, "Oh, he's done. He should retire." Man, come on. The kind of career he had, the kind of career he's had since then, is better than most of the fucking welterweights today.
Yeah, really.
That's a fact, bro. That's a fact. Pacquiao's a fucking. That's why I always say Pacquiao can do what he wants because he's an active, living legend. Like, he's a legend. As soon as he retired, he's already a legendary status. He's already in the Hall of Fame. He's a shoo-in for the Hall of Fame. He's an active legend. Like, you can't talk shit about Pacquiao, period.
Well, and like I say, bro, you know, and I'm younger than most of you guys. Bucho's. I'm close in age with Bucho, but by a couple of years. But he like since I've been alive, he's the best of all time. Since I've been alive, easy. You know what I'm saying?
He's the best fighter in the past 15 years.
Yeah, I mean,
He's the
shit. I
best
would go.
I've never seen anybody like that. I
I
haven't been
was-
watching
I was
boxing
gonna
that long, but like for me, that's the best fighter I've ever seen.
I was gonna
Yeah,
say same shit.
I was just gonna say, and I grew up watching Tito and Oscar and Roy and all them boys, and when I was a kid, I was, but yeah,
Sometimes I think he would have whipped Tito's ass at. Look, I'm not saying for sure.
Woohoo!
Way he fights, I think I'm like, yo, could he have whipped Tito's ass?
I don't know. That would have been a hell of a fight.
I know. Listen, I'm agreeing with you, but this is how good he is. He
He's
makes
good.
me
I mean,
wonder.
he could have made it a fight. Let me not act like I'm saying that Pacquiao didn't stand a chance or nothing. I'm saying he would have made it a fight. It would have been a hell of a fight, but I'm not going to say he would have whooped Tito's ass.
Even a Prime De La
Tito should
Hoya.
have beaten him.
I always thought
I think Tito.
Pacquiao against a Prime De La Hoya would have been also fucking crazy because De La Hoya was fast as. I mean, he was super fast, man.
Yo, 90.
He would have dropped those two guys. I don't know if he would have knocked them out, but he would have put them on their ass because they didn't have. Tito
90
didn't have the hardest of chins.
90s
He had a good chin.
He always thought back up.
That's true.
90s Oscar was a fucking freak too.
Oscar had a good chin too, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, that's true, though. Yeah, wait a minute. Yeah, it's true because even that old De La Hoya didn't go down. He was getting busted
Oscar,
up.
he sometimes stepped in cold. He had a good chin, but he did get dropped a few times.
Yeah, he did.
They fucking dropped, and do you remember that? That was the.
Who's the one that dropped him? Was it Greg?
Narciso Valenzuela, my ex-sparring partner, the guy that I grew up with.
Yeah,
he was the first guy to drop him in his 12th fight.
Corte
Wasn't he moving his jaw like something happened? Like he was moving his jaw up and down, like he was, it's hard to describe. But anyway, he was just fucking moving his jaw like
he was always moving his jaw before a fight. Remember?
No, but right before the fight.
You gotta heat up your muscles so you're
yeah.
When he got dropped, I'm saying
yeah,
when
he got dropped. I think since then he started doing that shit. I think. No, I don't know.
I remember that fight where
Didn't Chavez
moving the jaw.
He dropped him in sparring.
Didn't Chavez Sr. knock out De La Hoya in sparring?
He dropped him.
He just dropped him.
Oh yeah, and then he looked at it.
Yeah, but that was probably when Oscar was fucking 18 years old.
Yeah, he was a kid, but
yeah.
Yeah, he was probably a kid.
You guys remember that article from Seferino Jackson about De La Hoya?
Oh, yeah.
You remember when?
He used to have a pet rat named Gonzalito, and that the reason why he didn't like black people, supposedly, according to the article, was because one day the rat ran into a crack house, and it burned down because of the crackheads. And he was trying to get into supposedly witnesses said that he was trying to jump into the building to rescue Gonzalito, and then then supposedly he would beat people up at school, and then he would piss on them, and supposedly his urine was bright because he used to take vitamins, and that's why they called him the Golden Boy.
That's crazy, dog.
I told you that one time that dude. I was at that party. That dude, when I was like 19 or something, that dude got in my face because I was smoking a square or something in his crib or a blunt, and I'm like, motherfucker, there's like 6 females smoking over there. What you coming at me for? He's like, whoa, we're broads, and I was like, okay. So later on, I crept up to his room, pissed all over his TV, his laptop, his bed, fucking, and Boogie.
He gave him a golden shower.
I pissed on his fucking homework, his fucking.
That was last week.
Huh?
That was last week you did that?
Yeah, no. Come on, that was when I was crazy.
They used to call him Golden Johnny Boy.
Yeah.
Golden Johnny, yeah. No, but you know what? With De La Hoya, I always, after he retired, I gave him a hard time because I never was a big fan of his. For a long time, I was like, this guy, he's overrated. He never. Most of his big wins had asterisks next to them. But in hindsight, you got to give it to him. He fought almost everybody, and he never really embarrassed himself until he.
Sounds like somebody else we know.
Who's that?
Hello.
Oh.
I was, you know what? I was just gonna bring that up. Precise. The thing that pisses me off. I mean, aside of the fishnets and fucking snowballs. Senor, hang on a second, senor. The side of the thing that the snowballs and the fucking fishnets. The only thing that pissed me off about him is Oscar. He fucking liked, I mean, he was critical of Floyd, right? After he retired and Floyd was still fighting in A, B, C, and D, and rightfully so. He was but now he's letting this Canelo get away with the same shit he was criticizing Floyd for doing, which is, and he was right for criticizing Floyd. Don't get me fucked up now. I was just saying,
Well, I always wanted to blame De La Hoya. I think De La Hoya was the one that prevented Canelo from fighting Golovkin 1 year before. But now this is all speculation. I don't know what the hell. But I think now Canelo, De La Hoya is the one that wants Canelo to fight Golovkin for a third time, and Canelo is the one that doesn't want to. And I just read a rumor that because the zone just said that they want to make the fight for 2020, the third Golovkin fight, and there's a rumor that Canelo just said, "I will only fight Golovkin for 100 million." So he was.
Steve Kim on his show, 3 Knockdown or Saved by the Bell, as I call it. He was saying that he got a text from Golden Boy during the Golovkin fight. And it said, I think it was from Eric Gomez, that's who he keeps in touch with, and it said he can't pull the trigger anymore. And he texted him back saying, so why don't you fight him? Like, they want to fight him now after that fight, basically, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I heard him say at this point, he would not. I'm talking about Canelo. He was on a conference call, and he said that he would knock out Triple G.
But he still doesn't want to do it.
Man, he's pussy.
Well, I mean, he doesn't want to do it right away, I guess. And
Johnny boy, what you think about this fight with Kovalev?
What I think about, man, I'd rather see him fight the Vosdik Beterbiev winner, but
No,
he's
not staying over there. Trust me. There's no way he stays at 175. No matter. No.
Yeah, but his fucking ginger balls haven't dropped. I know you like Canelo D, but listen, man.
Don't give him no credit for this fight against Kovalev.
I'll give him the credit for beating a 40-year-old past his prime fighter.
Oh man.
You know what?
You see what I don't like about this fight? Sorry, BDA, go ahead, man.
Well, I was just going to say, go ahead, but remind me that I want to say something about Canelo in Mexico.
You got it. Absolutely. I don't like the way this fight is being presented to us by the boxing world. Okay? I don't like how it's being presented. It's being presented as Canelo's going for greatness, but dude, he's an overwhelming favorite. Like, hello, people. Do we not see what's going on here? Right. You can give me that. You can give me the conspiracy hashtag on me. So
no, BD.
I'm just saying is, look, stop bullshitting us. Like, is he going for greatness? And if he's going for greatness, why is he that much of a favorite to win the fight? Like,
listen,
tell us the details already. What's the details? The fight's coming up in what? 3 weeks from now?
3 weeks, month.
I mean,
the bookies think it's an easier fight than Billy Joe Saunders. Man.
Yeah, I mean,
that's crazy.
So that means Billy Joe Saunders is a tougher fight.
Who wins, Billy Joe or Sergey Kovalev? Who wins that fight?
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, and I don't think Ryan Garcia is gonna prepare you in sparring to face Kovalev.
Man, fuck Ryan.
Fuck Ryan
Garcia.
You seen that recognized?
Wait a minute.
I want to street fight Ryan Garcia. I want to street
You guys
fight.
want to criticize Canelo? That's fine, but you.
You're a big bully. You want to street fight Ryan Garcia?
I want to street fight that little bitch, bro.
Over.
Nah, you're gonna have to get through me first, Johnny boy. You're gonna have to get through me first, Johnny boy.
Told you, Johnny boy. That's BDA's.
Oh, that's your nephew,
BDA's. That's
BDA.
right. That's my property right there, man. But
No,
listen,
this is with
That's
mine.
BDA's son.
Listen, Big Mike. You better let me through the fucking child line when I tell you to. God damn it. You understand? Now, but let me through the child line. There's a ray of sunshine down there. No. But nah, man. Yeah, I want to street fight that kid. But I want
to see him in a snuff film as a victim.
All right, that's it.
Hold on. What I was gonna say was though, before you brought Justin Bieber up, was the thing I didn't like about Canelo Kovalev, bro. It's just like there's plenty of good fights for both of them guys in their own divisions. Like, why are you mixing and matching? Like, just fight motherfuckers in your own division, bro. Like,
I'll tell you why, because he wants the
Johnny,
title, and he's
hold on,
trying to get the.
hold on,
Good point. Good point.
Yeah, well, obviously, but here's the thing: Kovalev's got a name, but it's a 40-year-old name that, you know.
It's
a name in the title, Johnny. It's a name in the title.
It's like this. Pacquiao's got a name. It's a 40-year-old name, but it's a title involved, bro.
Yeah, but Pacquiao just beat a fucking undefeated champ.
I understand
It's
that,
the only
but
fight that
still,
can
bro.
substitute. It's the only fight that can substitute a third Golovkin fight. It's the only fight that can generate interest. Like we're all talking about it. Like what's
had
gonna?
no choice, basically, right, Pucho?
Well, yeah, because the zone's pressuring him. Like either you, I mean, they said like, okay, you don't want to fight Golovkin.
Triple G or Kovalev, pick one.
Exactly.
He had no
That's what I
choice.
told him.
Exactly.
For the money we're paying
Time
you,
goes by.
it's one of those.
When the years go by,
Canelo's getting
nobody's gonna
fucked up
remember
in
the
this
age.
fight.
That's why I always
I don't
say,
understand how people.
Wait, precise. What'd you say? Say it
I
again?
don't understand how people don't see this coming. Like, if the fight's for real, Canelo's getting fucked up in this fight. Like, he's gonna get
The
fucked
odd makers
up.
are scaring me. The odd makers are scaring me. They're not there to lose money. We know that. And these odds are fucking
Or
weird.
what did they? Joshua was a 25 to 1 favorite or something like that, or maybe Ruiz was a 20.
In the same year they're gonna fuck up twice big like that. It's unlikely, man.
Yeah, but think about it like this: people are so confident in Canelo, they're gonna lay big money down on him.
So precise. Are you saying? Are you on board my train of thought, which is that this money shot is gonna be a reverse money shot right all over Canelo's face?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Fucking.
Hey, did you hear what Bernard Hopkins said? Bernard Hopkins.
He's scared for Canelo.
Piss his pants.
Yeah. He said, "Do not be surprised if Canelo gets knocked out."
He's trying to sell the goddamn fight. Also, let's be honest. He's like.
Yeah, but he kind of said it in an interview, not like I'm here to make a public statement.
Who wins, Canelo or old B-Hop?
Hop.
The B-Hop that beat the Kazakh guy that trained himself for the fight.
Shumenov.
Does Canelo
like
Shumenov?
B-Hop is like Mayweather in a way.
Does Canelo beat that B-Hop?
At light heavyweight?
Yeah, of course, light heavyweight.
No.
Probably not.
No.
He was better at light heavyweight.
He would clinch the fuck out of
He
him.
didn't have to sacrifice a whole lot.
No.
I mean, does Canelo beat Anthony Yard? Does he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure?
Are you that confident? You're that confident?
He's gonna get
He's
tired.
got the punching power, but he got good waist movement. He's gonna dip
Yeah, they
and
got
dodge
gassed,
and he got
man.
Canelo doesn't have any punching. Like, wait, hold on, Gonzalo. Canelo has punching power at light heavyweight? How do you know this?
Well, that has to remain to be seen. I take that back, because I really don't know. He hasn't fought at light heavyweight, so I have to wait for that. Actually,
He's not the heaviest hitter at 160, bro.
He's got respectable power.
Yeah, he does. Respectable power at middleweight. This is 2 divisions higher.
You see, when Pacquiao made the transition to go to 135, only one fight, and then go up to 147, we understood he had tremendous speed and power. Okay, he can beat up. He knocked out Barrera. He knocked out Morales twice. Okay, the only person he didn't, he beat the shit out of David
But
Diaz.
he
I'm
would
not saying
bust them
Diaz.
up too, though. When he started moving up in weight, he wasn't. I mean, besides fucking Ricky Hatton, I guess. But like
No,
Cotto,
but what I'm saying is,
Yeah.
look, what I'm saying is, before we knew the results of all those fights, at least we could look at it now and say, well, you know, Manny Pacquiao was destroying competition on his way up to these fights. Now, not every single one, because Eric Morales, Marquez are fucking great fighters. You don't just blow those guys away. Okay, it's almost impossible even to get the knockout that he got on Barrera. You know what I'm saying? Like, but he did it. What I'm saying is there was evidence of something. Name me the great fighter he destroyed at middleweight.
Well, that's the thing. Recognized fights are getting more competitive. I have to.
No, I
say something
understand
real
that,
quick.
Gonzalo.
Okay,
But
yeah,
I'm
but he
understanding
hasn't.
what
He
you're
hasn't.
saying. But what I'm trying, look.
Okay, but but hold on. Who did he fight at middleweight? Cotto. He should have stopped. He should have stopped. He should have stopped
Golovkin 2
Cotto.
times.
He should have stopped Cotto, Golovkin 2 times, and Jacobs. Now, out of those 3 fighters, I think he should have knocked out Cotto, but I don't think he was gonna knock out either Golovkin or Jacobs.
Right. So you see what I'm saying? You see the point? Like, there's no evidence to suggest that he's an 8-1, 5-1, 4-1 favorite over a guy who's been one of the most dominant heavyweights.
I want to see the stoppage. I want to see the odds on the betting odds on stoppages, because maybe they're just banking on Canelo going 12 rounds. And
it's
of course,
not only that they
getting a gift.
It's not only that they're giving
is
Canelo
possible.
the
That
favorite.
is possible, man.
Hold on, Gonzalo. Let me say this real quick.
I'm not saying nothing.
It's me.
I'm sorry. Listen, I just want to finish this point. They're not only saying he's going to beat Kovalev, they're saying he's going to knock him out, and specifically with a body shot.
Well, I don't know about that's the consensus. That's the consensus from
It's like, who's writing this movie? I want to know who's writing it.
Look at Shane Mosley. Go ahead, Gonzalo. Go ahead, man.
The little evidence I have is that, look, Canelo is like a short guy. He's like 5'8.5", but he's big frame. Where I think if he's not having to sacrifice cutting all that weight, I always thought he was a big guy for 147 and 154. Now, when he moved up to 168 and fought Rocky Fielding, who wasn't a good fighter at all, he looked pretty good. To where if he had stamina problems in the past, I could kind of link that to him having to cut all that weight. To where now, when he's more relaxed and he come in more comfortable at 175, that actually might help him.
Yeah, it's going to help him a little bit with his stamina and all that, but he's going to be fighting a much bigger guy also, and that's going to drain his stamina, especially if Sergey decides to hold him. But I was going to bring up the example of Shane Mosley, right? Someone who wasn't really competitive with Canelo, but didn't get knocked out or anything, you know. He hung in there with Canelo for 12 rounds. Anyway, Shane Mosley in his prime was a phenom, the best welterweight in his heyday, right? He moved up to 154 and fought 2 technical guys that weren't even all-time greats, 2 technical guys with good jabs, and he was useless. And that was juice to the fucking gills phenom Shane Mosley, not this good Canelo. No, Shane Mosley he had all-time great hand speed, amazing punching power. The guy was just, I mean, I don't think Mosley gets enough respect, but in his prime, Mosley was just on another level, man. And he moved up 1 weight class, fought 2 solid guys with good jabs, and he couldn't do it, man.
Mostly after the
Canelo's gonna move up 2 weights. Go ahead, Pucho.
No, just gonna say, mostly after those 2 Vernon Forrest fights wasn't as impressive, and even his welterweight run, he beat De La Hoya, and after that, I mean, I get what you're saying. He was an amazing fighter, but
that was in his prime. I mean,
no, did you notice a decline after the Vernon Forrest fights, though? And
maybe he got off the juice. Maybe that's what happened. I don't know.
Maybe it messed up. I'm gonna open a can of worms here. Who thinks that Canelo gonna be juicing for this Kovalev fight?
Oh, come on, man! Nobody thinks he won't.
So can that expect him to be. Can that be any? How could that change the fight, though? Let's just imagine Canelo.
Well, let's say for instance, let's say, is there a catch weight in this fight?
No. Rehydration clause?
No, but we don't know about rehydration.
Yeah.
Do we?
Okay.
Not yet.
So rehydration could play Now, let's just say that, Canelo was all this time was juicing to the max, and we all know it's all about when you're cycling off, and Kovalev just came from a fight, so he didn't have time to do any of that shit. He has to be clean, and he has to meet a weight stipulation and all that, and you add that all up together, that's enough to change things, bro. That is. That means that I can take your punch better because I'm more artificially enhanced, and I'm reaping the benefits from it by cycling off, right? And you are just coming from one fight where you don't have time to do that. You just don't. You just got to go from that fight to training and all that stuff and
But he
maintaining your
was
weight.
juiced. He was juiced to the gills against a Golovkin that was doing VADA testing
Both
for
fights.
every goddamn fight.
He was doing it for
And he
both
was
fights.
juiced to the gills against Golovkin and couldn't even hurt Golovkin. So how much more juiced can he get? You know what I mean? And I don't think he's going to be putting on weight trying to be big and bulky because that would give away his advantages.
Well, they got PEDs for different things, and I think it's more about his stamina and being able to endure what he can
Punishment,
endure. Yeah, not
That's
as
true.
far as
Okay.
not as far as juicing for knockout
You
power
bring
or
up a
anything
good
like that.
You bring up a good point because here's the problem with you boys. You're getting hung up on the power. Can he hurt Kovalev? Can he hurt this guy? I do think if he hits him right on the jaw, obviously he can hurt him. I mean, Canelo's a big dude. Even at 160, he probably walks around at 180 when he's not training. But here's the problem: his activity. Because at 160, Canelo's in a catch-22 if he moves up in weight. Because his advantage at 160 is that he's a big, strong bull, right? He can take the punches, cover up, go on his shell, and the punches just bounce off of him. And then every once in a while, he'll let the 2-3 punch flurry, creates excitement with the judges, and he gets away with that. If he moves up,
Man, let me. No, sorry, B.
hold on.
Sorry.
If he moves up to 175 or even 168, depends. He's going to have to be more active. Now, if he's putting on more weight, he can be more active. The only time I've seen him be as active as possible was in the second Golovkin fight. It remains to be seen if he can fight that way. He tried a little bit against Daniel Jacobs, and even then his punch output was better than before. But he's not a volume puncher. So Kovalev, he does throw a lot of he shoots a lot of throwaway punches in there. He's very active, especially with that jab. He's not just going to stop throwing punches. Like I said, at 160, guys respect him. They respect his power and his defense, and so they don't want to press the issue too much. And so Canelo gets away with fighting at his pace. He's fighting guys bigger than him and who can handle his punch and don't respect him all that much, and they start pushing the pace. He better be able to catch up with them, otherwise he's in trouble.
This fight is pretty simple for me, and I'm going to tell you what I mean. On the outside, Kovalev's got Canelo. On the inside, Canelo's got Kovalev, bro. It's who can apply their game plan the best. And from what I've seen and I look, man, y'all know I don't really care for Canelo. So to put that lightly.
Go ahead. Go ahead. What's gonna happen now? What?
What?
You're gonna say something controversial now. Go ahead.
No. I wasn't boots. What
Because you're saying I don't like Canelo. You guys. Okay, but go ahead.
No.
Just go ahead and say it. Spit it out. What's the matter with you?
For fuck's sake, don't rush me. Don't rush me, sunshine. Don't rush me, sunshine.
What's with all the suspense?
No. Don't rush me, sunshine. All right, now here. No. But it's real simple. Either Kovalev's got him on the outside, Canelo's got him on the inside. It's who can apply their shit the best. And motherfucking what's it called there? And Kovalev, man, even from that, I think me and Anthony were talking about this the one day. Even from that first Ward fight, bro, Kovalev has slowed down.
They poisoned him.
They poisoned him like they poisoned him like they poisoned Big George in the jungle back in the day against Ali. Now,
Canelo's gonna surprise him and go upstairs, man. I'm telling you. The whole thing is, he's gonna go to the body. At some point, he's gonna throw like a big over right hand, man.
There's a reason Canelo's a big favorite, bro. That's all I'm gonna say. Now, what's crazy about this is I had a dream about this fight. I told you, I made a video about this shit.
Oh, here
I
we
had
go.
Another dream. Go ahead.
Another
I
dream.
had a dream.
Oh, I had a dream.
No. But I had a dream, and what I dreamt, I'll just say it, fuck it. What I dreamt was it was a fucking brawl. I'm not even lying. I ain't even lying either. I asked McGregor. I told him the same thing when me and him was talking like a month ago. But they were fucking brawling. Both guys got dropped, and fucking Kovalev got knocked out in the 5th round. That's what was my dream.
Well, I had a dream that Triple G got knocked out in the 2nd round. Or at least I think he did.
Hey, I'm just saying.
No, I'm saying these dreams happen. They happen. I know what you mean. It's weird.
But as far as inside fighting goes, yeah, Canelo got the advantage there, no doubt, because he got the shorter arms, faster hands. But if Sergey could grab a hold of big ass Anthony Yard and walk him back to the ropes and manhandle him, why can't he do that to little Canelo?
I think he's a lot more slippery than fucking Yard was, though.
There you go.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's also a lot smaller.
Yeah,
right,
but then that also means that
Yard tried to use the shoulder roll. One thing about Canelo, he took something from that Floyd fight. He knows how to use it, so it's different. He knows how to box, bro. He's a good boxer.
Yeah, but when Canelo's fighting
greener grass.
When Canelo's fighting a good fighter like Triple G, there ain't no shoulder roll, man.
No. I'm just saying though, but I'm just making the comparison. We talking Yard and Canelo. Yard's green as grass, and Canelo's a good boxer, so he's gonna understand how to work his way out inside, and he's one of the best body punchers in the game. So he's gonna figure out how to get to the body.
But to that, hold on, Gonzalo. But to that, I say watch the Daniel Jacobs fight and explain to me why he wasn't able to find a way to the body. He wasn't able to close the distance on Daniel Jacobs.
Oh, he needed to fight Jacobs in a different way. He needs to get to Kovalev's body. We know that.
Yeah, and here I'm gonna tell you this right now. Canelo's gonna have to eat shit to get there, but he's stopping Kovalev, bro. He's gonna stop him. Kovalev's too slow and he's too old, bro.
Does Canelo have enough power to respect?
Wait. I want to go. Sorry, Bucho. But how slow is he? Because I mean, I saw him out boxing later. Alvarez was pretty quick-handed.
He's not slow,
Anthony Yard.
He's slow, and then the fucking people are gonna start sucking his freckled cunt like he's the best sliced bread.
He'll stop.
Double click. They're gonna go.
He's not slow. He's just slower than Canelo, but he's not slow.
Yeah,
no, it's
and it fucking he knocked out a 40-year-old that was 3 inches taller than him. What the fucking humanity? This is
Hold on.
He'll knock Kovalev out if Kovalev lets him.
He ain't knocking him out, man. If Sergey comes to fight, go ahead, Gonzalo.
Yeah, I see that Canelo throws a good lead uppercut, and the way to get to the body is to keep him occupied with an uppercut that it can push his head back, or have him blocking with his gloves, and that'll open up the body.
But that's all theory, okay? And that's great. But when we actually look at Canelo in the ring with someone who's got the height and the reach of Sergey, Daniel Jacobs, and he's trying to get to the body, and he can't, and Daniel Jacobs doesn't have the kind of jab that Sergey has, doesn't have the power, doesn't have the output, doesn't have the balls. He's just not nearly as good as Sergey. If he can't get to Daniel Jacobs' body and he's trying his damnness to get there, how the fuck does he get to Sergey's body? I just don't see it.
Will Kovalev actually commit? Like, because let's be honest, Jacobs didn't really fight. Like, he kind of fought scared a bit, right? But Kovalev can Kovalev get away with Can Kovalev
You read
get
my
away
mind,
with
Mucho,
not being
same thing.
active though?
Dear, listen. Does at this point, we're not talking about prime Kovalev. That's a different story. Now, does Kovalev have faster hands than Danny Jacobs does? No, he does not. Not at this point.
Danny Jacobs is a slapper, so
Yeah,
it's hard to
yeah,
beat.
whatever,
It's hard to beat a guy.
Yeah, all
who's a
right,
slapper.
all right.
But
The
also,
jab is faster. The jab is faster, I would say.
that's what I was going to say. Golovkin is fucking slow now as molasses, and yet his jab was getting to Canelo. So now imagine what Kovalev, who has a very good jab, quicker than Golovkin's. I don't know
Hey,
about
boys and girls. Hey, boys and girls. I'm gonna give you a little experiment. Try to fight a guy 4 inches taller than you, or reach, and try to hit him in the body while he's jabbing at your chest. Then I want to hear you come back and talk shit how he's gonna knock him out.
Yeah, just look at all the
Body
Klitschko
shot.
fights.
I can do it, but I don't know about
All right.
everybody else. So.
Hey, this is just, and I'm rooting for Kovalev. This is just my
come
opinion.
on.
Lies.
Doesn't
I'm
sound like it.
Lies.
Lies.
Bullshit. Bullshit.
No,
Bullshit.
hey,
Bullshit.
You,
Hey,
think you honestly think I'm rooting for Canelo after all this?
That's right.
No, Johnny boy, this is not about whether I think I don't think so. But my point is, I like I said, I'm coming from a boxing point of view. The arrogance of people saying he's gonna definitely knock him out with a body shot. You sound really stupid saying that.
Yeah, no,
I'm just gonna
definitely.
be honest. Like I'm not dissing anybody. You can have your opinion, but the certainty that this is going to happen. Where are you getting this from? Like I would ask any fan that. Where are you getting that from? Have you ever fought a guy 4 inches taller than you, smacking you in your face with a jab while you trying to hit him to the body?
No,
You know what's
it is.
about that? Recognize. Go ahead.
No,
Precisely.
no. This is no. And what I'm saying is, yeah, I'm coming. This is all I'm saying is this, man. And like I say, I want Kovalev to win. I'm rooting for the guy, bro. You think like I say, you think I'm rooting for fucking that bitch Canelo?
Don't bullshit me.
Hey, no, I'm rooting for Kovalev. But
All right, we get it. So what's your
okay,
point?
That's not to say that.
Don't call me a fucking liar.
That's not to say, Johnny boy, that Canelo can't win a different way. Okay,
That's what I'm
not
saying.
saying he can't win a different way, but stop.
No.
It's cracking.
Hold
me up.
on for a
It's
second.
cracking
Hold on
me
for a
up how
second.
this
I don't think that Johnny Boy
gonna knock
said
him out with a body punch.
I didn't get to my point.
gonna knock him out with a body shot. He said he's gonna work the body and stop him. And I believe he'll do that too, but I'm not. I don't
Can I
think he
finish
said
my
he
point? Let me
definitely.
finish
All
my
right,
point.
get to the point. Get to the point. Go.
Okay, what the fuck? Why am I the black sheep tonight?
No, because you're
trolling.
trolling.
But anyways.
Yeah.
No, I just Kovalev's too fucking slow. He's older, bro, and I've fought guys fucking 6 inches taller than me, bro. And yeah, it is hard getting to him because you got to eat shit on the way in. But I mean, I think it's gonna be a brawl. I think it's gonna be a brawl.
Oh my god.
But I just like. Yeah, you're good. Yeah. I just think I think
Who do you
Canelo's
keep
the
talking to, man? You're talking to somebody there in the back. Like, yeah,
People
are you
are
making
saying
right now?
Johnny. People are saying
Are you-
you're long-winded.
Oh,
Look, Daniel Jacobs controlled the distance against Canelo for the most part. Canelo couldn't really get to that body, and if he did, Daniel Jacobs hit him just as much to the body as Canelo hit him. And insofar as Jacobs being scared, I mean, if he fought scared, then what the hell happened to Canelo, who threw just as many punches as Daniel Jacobs did in that fight?
These guys used
Both
to
guys
measure-
were scared of each other.
No, that's true,
precise.
but
That's a totally different fight, dog. Danny Jacobs has better feet than Kovalev. He is faster.
No, he doesn't.
hands.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't have better feet than Kovalev. No, he does not.
At this point,
Sergey is one of the best guys at controlling distance. Like
that's not feet or hand speed though, dog. Controlling distance, yeah, he's good at measuring off with the jab, of course, bro. But it's not the same.
He controls
fight,
distance with his feet. First and foremost, with his feet.
The whole thing about fighting scared, he's the guy that's gonna fight scared until he's in position to hit you back, where he can take
I don't know,
advantage of
man.
that. He ain't scared
Yeah.
because he can't fight. He's
And
scared
it's
that
no
he.
disrespect either, but
Canelo doesn't have to do shit.
Mr.
He
BDA,
knows
what
he-
were you gonna say about Canelo in Mexico? You said recognize to remind you.
Yeah, like an hour ago.
No, but I don't want to. I don't want to step away from the discussion we're having here because here's the thing. Here's the thing. I do agree with Johnny Boy in the sense that it's different styles between Jacobs and Kovalev. Jacobs is a little bit better at flirting with those little
Yo, precise,
shoe
we can see you
shines,
taking a leak, man.
which actually hurt. And I think who's taking a piss in the background, by
It's
the way?
precise, man. He's taking a
I
fucking
don't know
leak,
who the
man.
fuck is speaking, man.
and Mr. BDA, I'm not writing Kovalev off at all. He's a big.
It sounds like you are.
You are.
Bullshit.
It sounds to me, Johnny Boy, like you're trying to switch teams.
No.
Trying to I talked to Carmine the other day. I'll tell you later what he said about that. But anyway, the point is this: Jacobs has a different type of style. When you step into him, he'll flurry. Kovalev doesn't flurry on the inside. He doesn't shoe shine because most of the time, if he wants to keep you off of him, I said most of the time, he can do it. Bottom line, guys, if fucking Canelo wants to work the body, he's going to have to get past the jab. Now, Pucho keeps telling me, yeah, Canelo has good upper body movement, so he's going to get. But when has he really done? Even against Golovkin,
Coming forward,
he
right?
Golovkin back, he wasn't bobbing and weaving on the inside against Golovkin. Neither did he really do that against Jacobs. So the point is, how's he going to do it against Kovalev's jab? Is he really
Not just the jab, BDA. The right hand's right after that jab is the right hand.
He's gonna have to swing.
Yeah.
He's gonna okay.
Yeah, he's gonna parry the jab, then he's gonna slip the right hand. That's what he's gonna be looking to capitalize on.
I'm gonna make a prediction on how Canelo's gonna win this fight. Right? Make it competitive. You're more likely not gonna get close to his body. Make it competitive. Go 12 rounds. You're gonna win on the scorecards. I'm just gonna go out on the limb, say that's how he wins the fight.
Canelo has to invite Kovalev to come in as well, right? Or is he just like? How do you imagine the fight going? Like, is it always Canelo coming forward, or is it there are moments where Canelo is stationary in the middle of the ring and then tries to invite Kovalev to come in?
I think Kovalev's gonna be leading the tempo. He's the one that's gonna try to control.
Well, he's a bigger guy. That would look bad, though.
But Sergey doesn't have to come in. He's got a reach advantage. He's going to stay outside and hit him from outside. He doesn't have to.
Canelo has to get inside. Sergey don't have to.
Yeah, Sergey, he needs to get him to lead, I agree. But then, because Canelo's a good counterpuncher, so he needs to get him to lead and overcommit if he wants to hit him. Otherwise, he's going to be jumping in with these like crazy wild swinging punches that he couldn't even hit Golovkin with.
How short?
He was like,
yeah. I want to know the reach.
Hit nothing but air.
What's the reach advantage for both, though? Do we know?
Well, the reach advantage on paper, according to BoxRec, isn't that much. However, Sergey leans into his punches, so his reach is deceptively long. Or however long his arms are, it doesn't really matter because he will lean into his punches, which keeps his body that much further away, and he's able to. To me, whoever he's fought, he's always looked like the guy with longer reach. Whether he had longer arms, that's debatable. But all the guys that he's fought, he looked like he had better reach than all of them.
Oh yeah, definitely. Marcos Villegas, the guy with the channel, he said, "All right, Kovalev, stretch out your arm in comparison to mine." And when he did that, he looked like really, really long, like a giant against Marcos Villegas.
Yeah, he got long fucking arms. Like his arms are long. Now the length of his shoulder, his wingspan, right? It's kind of small. There goes the reason why he's not a fucking like Stevenson, who's like 77 inches in arm reach. That doesn't mean he has longer arms than Kovalev.
I have to say something to recognize. I've been meaning to say it for a while, but Johnny was speaking. Anyways, when you said
go fuck yourself.
how when people say that if Canelo can knock him out to the body, that it's kind of ridiculous that somebody would think
to predict that.
My problem with that recognize is that I do believe that myself, but when people get on that bandwagon because they heard somebody like me saying that without doing their research, that bugs me because it sounds like really casual. Oh, so you think he's good, but how do you really know that? I know because I think that's what he will do, but everybody else just jumps on the bandwagon.
Gonzalo, I respect that. What you're saying. Look, if you're saying, look, I think the key is to go to the body, and he could outwork him there, and maybe stop him, from hitting him to the body. That's fine. The certainty. Boxing, it shouldn't be predictable. So number one, how are you going to have such certainty that is exactly what's going to happen when there's a styles problem there? There's a height problem there. He's not Rocky Fielding, okay? He's going to throw the jab at his chest. Boxing 101, fight the shorter guy. Don't let him go to your body. How do you do that? Punch him in his chest. Snap the jab to his chest. Bend your knees a little bit. Circle to whatever his right foot is, or his lead foot, excuse me, and punch to the chest. Come with the overhand right. It disrupts you from going to the body. It's called science.
Gypsy Boxing Style in the chat room says it's called confidence, something you like, Matrix. LOL. You out. No, but you know what, man? I mean, here's the other thing about that.
Boxing Style, go fuck yourself.
Oh. That's what the language today, man.
With a dildo.
I'm glad you specified that. Yeah. By the way, people are saying that Villegas, what's his name? Marcos Villegas example is not a good one because Villegas is, and I'm quoting here, they're saying he's a midget. So maybe that's not the best example, but it stands
He's
to
not
reason.
a midget. He's Canelo's height. That's why they made the comparison, because he said, I'm the size that Canelo is.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, there you go, people in the chat room. And also the other thing I wanted to say is that Golovkin's got that great style where he keeps you on the distance and he can just he makes you keep your guard up because of the throwaway punches. And maybe call me crazy, but I think Eleider Alvarez has a similar style to Canelo Alvarez. They're both boxer punchers. They both like to, they're not 6-7 punch combination type of guys. They like to throw 2-3 explosive shots and then go back into the shell. So if you want to see how a fight between Canelo and Kovalev will go or might go, I think that Eleider Alvarez fights, those two fights are a good example of that.
How did Eleider Alvarez knock out Kovalev?
Mid-range.
There you go.
Yeah.
Did he work the body?
He has to do something with the last name.
Did he work his weak body and it was just over from there on out? Was that what happened? Or he fought him at mid-range, started clipping the jaw?
Well, you know what? Not for nothing, but that Kovalev looked very lethargic.
No, I know. Listen, I agree. Like, he looked off and whatever. But he still got knocked out. My point is, I'm using that as an example, right?
Right.
He didn't kill the body and then just knock him out, right? He fought him mid-range and started tapping the jaw, and eventually knocked him out. That's how he did it.
Yo, I was just gonna say, and like y'all recognize was just saying before.
You're breaking up, man.
Robot.
Jody boy, you're breaking up, man. Get out of the basement.
John, you broke up, man. You were sounding very choppy there.
You need to sign out and sign back in.
Yeah.
I learned a trick. If you call me for phone.
Do it!
About Canelo's confidence, like Gypsy's saying, I'm not seeing this confident guy that they're talking about. He's smiling, he's shaking hands with Sergey, he's hugging him during the face-off. He wants to make friends, okay? And when they asked him about fighting, like, for real, before the fight was ever announced, when they asked him about fighting Sergey, he said, anything is possible. The possibility is possible. That's what he was saying.
Possibility is possible.
Basically is what he said. The possibility, or I forget what it was. It's on my channel. Anyway, he does not look confident to me at all whatsoever. He's smiling, hugging. He, like, if you guys noticed that first face-off that they had, that announcement press conference, he, like, grabbed Sergey's hand with both of his hands, and he, like, started filling up on him, and like, oh, you're a pretty big guy there, like. He didn't look confident at all.
Yo, I was just gonna say real quickly, not to interrupt nobody. I was breaking up. But I won't be long-winded, so don't break my fucking balls. I was just gonna say, Yeah, no. And I'm not saying it's a certainty like Recognize was just saying. I just think Kovalev slowed down too much. I think Canelo's gonna get him with something. That's all. And I'm rooting for Kovalev. That's all.
Come on, don't bullshit me.
No, and that's a fit. Like Gonzalo thinks is going to be a body punch, and Gonzalo feels that a lot of people piggybacked off that and not really breaking it down. Look, I don't have a problem with
I
somebody
think
breaking
body
down.
punch is gonna get him in trouble. That's what's gonna cause the trouble. But
Right. Okay.
and
Right,
I'm
but there's
not.
no. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Recognize. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, look, there's no certainty because once, man, if you've been in the ring and you know the importance when a man is on rhythm with his jab, you can't. It's hard for you to do anything, let alone hit his body.
True.
I mean, it's just,
Sergey's never been even knocked down with the body punch, and Canelo doesn't knock anybody out at 160 pounds with body punches.
Well,
So that equation doesn't make sense to me.
Well, and what I was just gonna say was I'm not picking any particular method. I was just saying I favor Canelo. That's what I was trying to say, bro. Okay.
Well, now here's something I got to say though. Johnny Boy, who is a closet Canelo fan, but he addresses Canelo as Canelo.
Hey,
precise. You address Kovalev as Sergey on a first name basis. Is there something you're not telling us here about?
They know them. They both know them.
I'm a secret
Right.
Canelo fanboy.
We're buddies.
Wait,
Precise is related to Sergey. Let's be honest. Precise, come clean. And Johnny Boy and Canelo are brothers. They're long lost brothers.
Fuck out of here. Fuck. No. No. That fucking. No.
Where are you?
Okay, but here's a question for you guys. I got a question. So some of you believe Canelo's going to drop him with body shots or break him down. Some of you believe that it's the other way around. Canelo's going to get busted up. What are the chances that Canelo does indeed take Kovalev out? 80-20? 90-10? What do you guys think?
50-50.
50-50.
50-50.
3%.
Oh!
5%.
5%. Bucho,
Yeah.
what about you, man?
45%.
All right, so we got some. All right, so we got
some numbers.
Yeah, we got some numbers because there's people on the extreme and there's people in the middle. And by the way, Johnny Boy, where the fuck you going, man? He just got here.
Johnny's leaving.
Nah.
He just found out he was related to Canelo. Kind of hard right now.
I heard him talking with somebody. I think he was picking up envelopes or something. I think he was on his collections or something. I don't know.
He's like, motherfucker, I'm related to Canelo.
Ugly motherfucker.
Bucho with the fucking sound bites.
Yeah.
So if it's 50-50 and the bookies are giving you more than 2-1 or 1-2, however the fuck, all you guys are laying money down on Canelo by KO, right? Because it would make sense. Then there's value there, no? If you're saying it's 50-50,
I'm just saying, you know.
No. The guys that like to bet, like Bucho likes to bet, right? If it's 50-50, and let's say they're giving you, 50 cents on the dollar for a knockout, you're gonna take those odds, no? Come on, Bucho.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, that makes because 50 cents on the dollar, man.
Come on, man. Put your shoulders up. Take the wind, feel the wind underneath your feet and give an honest answer. Come on.
What are the odds? Have you checked, Bucho? I don't.
No, they're still not. I'm gonna check again. They're still not giving you like the full thing. They're just giving you like the who wins, who loses. I'll check and I'll get back to you guys.
Has anybody, because I've asked this question many times, has anybody found an example of what Canelo is about to do in any weight divisions? Like a guy moving up 2 weight divisions and knocking out the top guy up there? Has anyone given me any, like... Yeah.
There's no, because this is unprecedented. He's doing something that no other guy has done before. I mean, I'm talking about moving up to light heavyweight. Anyways,
so Canelo's a special fighter? People think Canelo's a special fighter?
Well, I have no evidence, but what I can say that at 168, I know this was Rocky Fielding. It was a tall guy who wasn't really that good. but he just looked really strong to me, like around his neckline, the way he was bulldozing inside. That's the only small evidence that I have.
Canelo is a 4.5 favorite, and Kovalev 3.25 underdog. So Canelo 4.5.
Ah, well, there you go.
I mean, it's not 8.
So
I mean,
$4.50 on Canelo gets you $1.
Nah, I wouldn't take that shit.
All right, Bucho.
But I mean, if it's such a BD, if it's such a short thing, then I mean, just lay down $4.50 and you're gonna get $100. If it's such a short thing.
Well, it's not a short thing. I said 45% chance that Kovalev knocks out Canelo. But I don't think nobody's gonna get knocked out. I think it's gonna go 12 rounds.
Well, you said 45% Kovalev
knocks out.
Oh, okay.
We were asking the other way around.
We were asking.
The reason I think Canelo knocks him out is I don't want to go 12 rounds with Kovalev.
No, Canelo 10%. No, Canelo 10%.
Who wants to go 12 rounds with the guy that can hit that hard? I want to get him out of there sooner rather than later.
I want $10 million.
To the body.
I want $10 million. Got it.
No.
But, there's certain things in life you just...
Did you guys think I said Canelo has a 45% chance of knocking out Kovalev?
Yeah, that's what I
thought, man. Sorry. No. That's a 10%.
That's what I asked.
10%.
That's what
10%. 10%. I didn't. Wait, you mind? Oh, wait, Jimmy, go ahead. You can join.
Hello.
Yeah, what's up?
Can you guys hear? Can you hear me tonight?
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, we'll see how long this lasts. Man, we're stuck with this. What's going on, man? I
Hello?
got in on the gambling. See already, right? You can't hear me?
Jimmy, I can't hear you.
What? You're joking?
You motherfucker.
Now, go ahead, Jimmy.
I couldn't even get back in last night. I was calling. It said I was there, but I knew you guys couldn't hear me. It was fucked up, man. They just don't like anybody from Lowell. Well, I don't want to interrupt. You guys seem to be in on this, man. Going at it. So you want? What are you guys talking about? Gambling?
No, Kovalev and Canelo, but that's getting old. Let's talk about Spence possibly getting a DUI. Actually, he's getting a DUI, no?
Oh yeah, no, he's getting an aggravated DUI. He's going to get an aggravated. And Texas is big too. Texas, you can do 5 years for an aggravated with bodily harm, even if it's just your own. Texas will fuck you, but they won't come on him down on him hard like that because he's got the money to get a good lawyer. But so he'll probably lose his license for 5 years and have to do some crazy courses and shit. But yeah, no, they're going to give him an aggravated DUI.
Well, at least he didn't hit anybody, though.
What's that?
At least he didn't hit anybody, because that would have been just the end of
exactly. I'll tell you, the sympathy, like that kid, I just saw on Twitter too, man. I agree with him 100%. Fucking sympathy's out the window, man. When you're fucking a knucklehead and you do shit like that, man, that could have been. Because I know when I was young, I'd be out in the street playing and shit, kids running around in the neighborhood. What happens with some fucking kids? You know what I mean? Could have been just like that easy. Because once you lose control and the car's flipping, it's like fucking, you're going where you're going. He could have fucking ran over people.
Jimmy,
yes.
It could have been a fucking crackhead at 3 a.m. in the morning. It still would have been wrong. You know what I mean?
No, exactly, right? It doesn't have to be exactly. I'm just trying to paint the worst possible outlet. But yeah, no, you're 100% correct. Could have been a fucking junkie in the gutter. It doesn't mean he deserves to die by some kid who has a fucking car he can't handle along with the alcohol he couldn't handle. You know what I mean? That's just arrogant. I mean, everybody drives. I know when I drove fucking shit-faced, the only time I ever drove stupid when I was on my motorcycle, because less chance of fucking people up. But when I was in a car, at least I never flew like a knucklehead. But if you look on YouTube, I wanted to see kind of what the LDBC, because there's a lot of those people who are, from the Texas area or whatever, and they got some things. So I wanted to see what people who see him out, what they say. And I'll tell you, there's a lot of people, like Kid Vans, there's a few other pages, a lot of things would talk about his drinking. I mean, they're making videos on his drinking prior to this thing. Prior to the accident, so with his smoke, there's fire. Why would guys be? It's not like you're making videos of Triple G's punching power. They're making videos about him just being a fucking hard drinker. So
wait, are we still on the narrative that he was actually in that accident or they're telling us the whole truth. Because listen, I believe in miracles. You know me. And he could do no miracle there except that he laid his hands on a few sick people and healed them. Okay, Mark 6, verse 5. But here's the thing, though. I'm thinking we got some footage of a vehicle rolling over. Hard stuff right there, right? Hardcore stuntman type shit. He's not hurt because of that? A couple of cracked teeth? Get the fuck out of here.
Well, he's got I guess severe lacerations, like a shit ton of staples, and there's a kid who DM'd me, claims he was with them earlier that night drinking. He hasn't returned my DM yet. He said, "Oh, when he left me, he wasn't that fucked up." I thought when he left us, that's how he put it. So I sent back a DM saying, "So you're with him, Prax? I want to see what this, if this kid's just talking poop." But
Do you guys think there's ever been a Ferrari flipping over at a high speed at 3 a.m. anywhere in the world where the driver wasn't drunk?
Right?
That's ever happened?
Yeah.
I think that's pretty much an outlier, right?
Yeah, come
That's
on.
pretty
Man.
much
Of course he was trashed.
Plus the fact that he was drunk, that would show, that's like Precise was saying last night, that that would go more to the reason why he's not dead. Because you're so drunk, and if he was that drunk where he just passed out, Plus if the first bang he knocked himself out cold, then you're like, your body's all loose.
And the fact he didn't have that seatbelt on, because the way that car was mangled, man, he might have been fucked up if he had that seatbelt on.
You see his sneaker? There's a they have a picture of his sneaker in the middle of the street. Someone tweeted it out. And get his sneakers blown off, which always happens. I don't know. It's
but they're being kind of. Is there any footage of him since the accident?
Oh,
no,
I don't know. Sometimes I get the feeling like they're not. Like, okay, don't get me wrong. Full recovery, I can see that, but there's something else going on. Like, did he bust his teeth out? Does he have like scar tissue in his face that could fuck? Remember, he's a boxer, so can that fuck up his career?
Well, they said facial lacerations.
Yeah.
So if he's got deep enough scar tissues, but there's operations now you can have to try to eliminate that somewhat, and it depends again on if you're a cutter to begin with. Some guys cut real easy, some guys don't. So again, though, regardless, I'd be shocked if he was fighting anytime soon, because walk away, even if he's in there a couple of days. I mean, there's no fucking way that dude didn't get meat torn. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
he's got to have some fucking serious joint back issues.
Trauma. If I wanted to be an asshole, I could say, "You see what happens when he fought Porter? Porter beat his ass so bad, he made him start drinking, and he got into a car accident."
Well, you know what? I heard the last episode where you guys were talking about his alcoholism, and there's even rumors that he's a cokehead. Which, a little coke here and there never hurt nobody. But when you're drinking and driving, now that's dangerous. I think that's the problem with Errol Spence, and it's indicative of boxers and the mentality the way they fight inside the ring and the mentality they have outside of the ring. I mean,
can I say something though? Something? It's kind of shocking that he would have those habits, and I'm gonna tell you why.
Why?
Okay, if he was from the Northeast, I can see that, right? Like, there's something about the Northeast that's like poisonous in terms of like for athletes to live in, right? It's cold. He lives in the South. He always reminded me of a dude, one of those Southern athletes that, you're either a drinker or you're not. You're either one of the two. Like that's the South. That's what it always reminded me of. Of course, everybody's different, but he shocks me as a drinker.
Well, usually what's happened is when you're out partying all the time, your life, and people, you get sycophants, hanger-ons, and if they hear you like a taste, the fucking dealers come around. It's the best way into a clique, because a lot of those guys, celebrity status, no matter what degree, they don't want to actually be the dude calling out dealers. You know what I mean? Hey, bring me over fucking 8-ball. So they want to hang around with dudes who are supplying it.
Exactly right. Like he just, it's a stereotype, right, of the South versus the East. The northern cities, right? We always had this thing. Oh, he's a big country boy. He's a big country corn-fed mule eating motherfucker, whatever you want to call it, right? And he fits that kind of that stereotype. An athlete that doesn't fuck around. Like he just serious. He doesn't. His getting high is working out, but apparently he's an alcoholic.
And the thing is, too, right? He doesn't. It's not like that kid comes from the hood. either. He grew up in a middle class neighborhood, and I guess both his parents are educated, so it's not like, you know what I mean. Because a lot of the times it's boxing, no matter what, right? So you get a guy, he was raised in a project, he makes $1 million. It's not like he's gonna hang around a country club. Nobody's gonna, you're just gonna bring that money back to the hood, and then do whatever you were doing. Now, when you got a lot of money, that just makes it dangerous.
Man,
That's why
some of the biggest
active fight is
junkies.
good.
Sorry, Jimmy. Some of the biggest junkies I've ever known were fucking rich white kids from the suburbs, man. So
That's right.
It's a good
True.
thing.
And that's the other thing is, just because somebody grows up in a middle class, I mean, you can tell that's why I wanted to get through the point across, is that he's a boxer. He's got that high octane style, and some oftentimes that's not separate from the real life demeanor. I mean, how many boxers have we seen who have gotten or met their peril via automobile accident? Salvador Sanchez, Diego Chico Corrales, Arturo
Williams.
died. Yeah, Paul Williams. Well, he didn't die, but yeah, that's again.
Paul Williams got into a motorcycle accident, wasn't that? Wasn't
Yeah.
that the deal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Same with Chico.
Oh yeah.
Even hockey players, man. Remember Pele? Well, you guys too young for that, but the goalie for the rookie was supposed to be the next great goalie, man. 21 years old in Philadelphia, drove his Porsche into a wall, killed. First year with the Flyers, yeah.
That's why when people were making this whole big deal about Sergey drinking vodka, I told you guys it was all bullshit, man. All of these guys they're just picking on him because he's Russian.
Yo,
Right.
Russian drinkers. Hey, wait, hold on. Reversely and Revolucion, you guys can jump in, man. Don't want to keep you waiting there. Welcome to the show.
Reversely.
Yeah, yo, I'm fucking cooling out. I was playing a game and I got a call. Bucha want me on the show. I guess you're talking about drinking. Want my take on drinking and driving and how to do it well?
Exactly. What's the trick?
Spence is a good example of doing it wrong.
Yeah, you don't want to do
so,
it.
no.
First of all, you might not want to bring the Ferrari out. If you got a few choices, I'm sure he's got a couple choices. You bring one that you might want to bang up a little bit.
The Toyota.
But, bring your baby mama's used car.
Yeah, you have a nice Toyota or something put together,
You got that kind of money, motherfucker. You know what I mean? Call somebody. Call a fucking delivery service, not even an Uber, but like a limo.
No.
You get that kind of funds, and have your fucking Ferrari flatbedded back.
Have the fucking entourage come out,
Goes to show you the people he hangs around with aren't too bright. I mean, because if there was people out partying with him, they really let him drive that fucked up.
He must have been so
Well, those
fucked
guys
up that
not
he thought he
shit,
was
though. They
okay,
just
man.
groupies and entourage sitting around him trying to make money, get free shit. Fucking
That's
freeloaders.
It's called young and dumb, man. That's all it is. I'm not even gonna lie. All the time. Now, I got Uber. Anytime I fucking I'm gonna have a few drinks. It's called Uber.
Hey, recognize,
dude.
Before you continue with that whole lifestyle, the party lifestyle, the Lord is not slow to fulfill His promise, as some count slowness, but patient towards you, not wishing that any should perish, but that all should reach repentance. All right, just think about that.
Nah, I feel like shit. Thank you, brother.
Hey BDA, how many hookers did you bang this week?
I don't understand what the point of the question is. Well, why would I answer that?
Yeah, you want to
So how are you gonna quote Bible verses with booty on your breath?
First of all, you got Hector Camacho on your avatar, man. What's up with that?
Mr. BDA.
That's right, brother.
It's not Hector Camacho. It's Acelino Freitas.
The biggest coke fiend to come out.
Yes, it's Acelino Freitas.
That is actually, yeah. He kind of look like Camacho there. I see what BDA. Yeah, I can see it.
There you go.
Yeah,
What do you
Mr.
want from
BDA,
me?
you're a huge hypocrite, man. This is you yesterday night.
All right. So anyway, what I'm saying is, the trick is one trick I'm learning recently is, because I wanna start driving trucks for a living. One trick I'm learning is as you're driving, you pretend your left foot is in a slot. Like the slot car, and that slot is right on, like, maybe 3-4 inches away from the white line to your left. And you just ride like that, and that kind of keeps you in the groove. And if you need to, close one eye and aim for the one in the middle.
So Spence should have done that shit.
Yeah,
we're all speculating. We don't
take
know.
your time. Take your time. If you want to speed, don't drink too much.
Well, he should have done another fucking gagger before he left the bar. Smoked the fuck
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Maybe he doesn't know how to ride a Ferrari. Maybe
that's what you said. Yeah.
What they really ought to promote against is drinking and speeding, not drinking and driving. Drink and drive. 35 miles an hour. You can get around. If you're knocking and
That's why you need to smoke the herbs, bro. Because when you smoke the herb, that's how fast you're gonna drive.
It's true.
Yeah, sometimes I'm whipped. I think I'm doing like 80. My girl's like, dude, you're going 40. I'm like, wow, holy shit, I thought I was flying.
You're getting pulled over for driving too slowly.
Yeah.
Doing 25 on the highway.
That Chris Farley movie. Do you know how fast you were going? I don't know. What? This thing's got a big motor. What, 60, 70? 10. You were going 10.
Yo. I always Can I go or do you want to go, Mr. BDA?
But just a quick question regarding that, because I'm one of the people that doesn't believe that we're being told the whole story here, and I forget who it was. I don't know if it was in the chat room or the Discord. Somebody said, "Oh, come on! Do you think if Al Heyman is behind this cover up, do you think he's got the moxie to cover up? What do you guys think? Do you think he's powerful enough?"
It could be.
I want to know this.
It could be the Heyman Moon God saved him from getting hurt in that accident.
Do y'all really believe that this a cover up or like a plot, a fake plot?
They would have had it. Heyman would have had to get this. They would have had to have people there before the news crews. Once you got the news reporting and the police, you know what I mean? It's hard. That's why they always, if you're going to have a cop do something for you, you always got to get it before the paperwork's in. I mean, that shit was all over the news and shit's going to be kind of hard. I mean, at best, the only thing I guess you could do is get a good lawyer.
The one part that's, and I'm not saying I agree with the conspiracy theory, but it is a little shady. And the one part that I found a little weird was that the bar from which the footage of the Ferrari was captured is they have a relationship with Spence, and they have like a mural. They know him basically. He's friends of that place, and they have a mural of him.
Yeah, it's called the Knockout. I believe the bar's called the Knockout.
Yeah, it's a little weird. Like, he just happens to crash right in front of like the place he frequents or something. I don't know.
What if he had a bunch of drinks there and then he just went in a circle and crashed back in?
No, he had a bunch of drinks at some taco car wash / gas station. I forget what it's called.
Yeah, they get real creative in the South, boy.
Sounds pretty cool.
No, it's like a taco restaurant with a gas station, and you can get your car washed over there.
You get everything you
lap
want.
dances too.
Yeah, I think
This
Gordon
has to
Ramsay-
be
I got
a
3
BDA
for 1.
project.
Is that where Gordon Ramsay was last time?
Gordon.
Like 5-star restaurant over there.
Look at like motherfucking Sonic down there, man. You pull up and the bitches come out on the fucking roller skates still. Till this day, they're coming out on roller skates.
They better.
You know what? Jimmy brought up the fact that Ronnie Shields and that they have some sort of shady reputation down there in Texas. But Charlo, one of the Charlos which trains with Rozier. I mean, not Rozier. What's the name of the guy that trains? I always confuse Rozier and Derrick James. Which one's the one that trains Charlo? Derrick James. Yeah. Remember, you got the Charlos who hang around the same circles as Errol Spence. They were getting robbed by trannies in a nightclub. Remember that? So all of those guys, it seems like
was that a tranny?
I don't know. That's what I heard.
I don't think. I think it was just somebody took their stuff. I don't know if they specifically said.
I mean, she was a big chick. The girl that I saw, she looked like a white girl too. Like she looked like a white girl that was connected with some street motherfuckers. But and they robbed him. They robbed his ass. If you see the video, he fell for the oldest trick in the world, man. One guy.
Did they ever find his stuff?
No, one guy looks like he's talking shit to him. Charlo steps to him. He's watching the girl. She walks off. He starts copping pleas. Yo, man, I have problems, man. You know, like, nah, I don't want to fight you. You know, you Charlo. Shit, I don't want to get beat up. You know, I apologize. Because she already walked off with the bag.
That's the oldest trick in the book. That and the Guatemalan snatch away. It's the oldest trick.
What is that?
I never even heard of that.
The Guatemalan snatch away is when you, and this was proven in one of those science shows where they show you how you can distract somebody very easily. What you do is, it doesn't really work nowadays, but it used to work back more in the 80s when people use maps as opposed to their cell phones. But what you would do is you would take a big ass map and show it to somebody and go, hey, listen, can you show me where to go here? Or where's the museum? Blah, blah, blah. So you get them distracted. They put their briefcase down. You got to go after somebody with a briefcase. So when they put their briefcase down and you're shielding their vision from the briefcase, a Guatemalan midget comes running behind, below the map, grabs the fucking briefcase and runs away. It's an old trick, oldest trick in the book. Used to work way back in the 80s. I'm pretty sure Jimmy can back me up on this one. He's probably heard of it before. But yeah, man, especially... What?
I was going to say, how short is a Guatemalan midget, you know?
Oh, well,
2'2".
Yeah, we're talking that's short. But the whole
So
thing,
basically, like a New York rat is a Guatemalan.
okay, come on.
We're gonna get banned here.
So how do we get really reversed on this one? How do we kick him out of the hangout? But recognize brought up the good point because those Charlo fellas, they look like the type of guys that get very easily riled up in that type of situation, and they lose all sight of their
money,
fanny packs, their whole jewelry, and all that shit. That's my opinion.
Fanny pack.
Wasn't it a fanny pack?
I think it was like a girl's handbag or something like that. You know, men nowadays they wear bags. It's a man bag.
Yeah, Gucci bags and shit like that's gay, man.
You know what Mickey Ward's brother used to do when he was all fucked up? They would have an apartment. The girls would send the girls out in the street over in downtown, and they would pull dudes upstairs in the apartment to give them a smoker, and they're sitting on the fucking bed, right? They got the drawers around their ankles, and fucking Boo and fucking Dick would be under the bed, and they would go through dudes' pockets. Oh man, yeah, they would do that all the time. In fact, they did it until they got caught. One guy actually went to the police, and they sent detectives back, and they fell for it. Yeah, hands to God, true story.
Oh, you're kidding me, Jimmy. That's insane.
No, he used to fucking bring guys up in this fucking rat hole apartment right behind the registry, and it was just a shithole fucking apartment. You know, guys would go up there, girl would be like, yeah, let's go up to my apartment. Whatever, $20.
Imagine being the motherfucker laying under the bed with a bitch getting fucked on a mattress above you.
Yeah, she'd be on her knees, blowing the dude, right? Because that's what they would want. They want her down on her knees. So if he felt the dude moving his pants, like, you know, so what he would do, you know, she'd drop his drawers, put him down to his ankles, still him on the bed, right? But then when she's fucking kneeling down, smoking him, so she's moving around down there, so we would notice it, and it would be Dickie or Boo, mostly Boo, and Boo would be under, Dickie would be in the closet in case the kid got caught, and, you know, got fucking squirrely, and then Dickie would, you know, obviously probably toss the poor prick a beating on top of getting robbed. And
creeping up on a dude getting a fucking blowjob so you could go through his pockets.
Oh yeah, dude, they would get that. They would do that, and they would do the police. They did that. They showed that in the movie. What happened after they got into the crack after a couple of years and all the teeth were missing? It was kind of hard to pretend you're a detective. You know, when you fucking your clothes are nasty, you're missing front teeth, man. No, police, man, let me see. You know, they would fucking zip tie them and then ask to see their ID. And instead of look at their ID, they'd see how much money they got.
Damn, that's crazy, bro.
That reminds me of this new movie that recently came out with Cardi B and J-Lo. Called it's called Hustlers, and it's about these strippers who are going through the recession. So what they do is they start taking men and drugging them and then taking their money. And it's like critically acclaimed, I heard.
Well, it doesn't surprise me that it's critically acclaimed in today's climate, today's cultural climate. Oh yeah, you go, girl, you get yours, even if you get.
There was also this picture I saw where it's like the three chipmunks getting head from the three chipettes, and it's like who's getting the best head.
Well, hold on a second. Wasn't there a female singer that admitted that she used to do that? She was a stripper and she would drug guys and then she would.
Yeah, that was Cardi B.
Oh, that's the same bitch that's in the movie.
Yeah, she's in the movie. They consulted her on how to properly make it.
She's in
BDA, female, okay, woman, all right.
What'd I say?
Whore.
No, that's not 26.
That is so bitch.
All three
Wait,
of
hold
those
on.
are correct words.
McGregor, you can jump in, man. So, just letting you know. Mark.
Jump in on what? I don't even know what people are talking about.
Oh, what?
All I heard was Cardi B and fanny packs, and I lost my fucking shit.
We're just getting started here.
Oh, of course, Mr. BDA is back, and everything goes homo.
That's right.
Well, you just got here, so that's why we had to go home.
Such a porn.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm only joking. I'm only
I
joking.
know you are, but what am I? That's basically what that was.
Yeah, it's basically it was the old switcheroo. That's what I did. It's an old trick. It's like the Guatemala snatch.
Like the Guatemalan snatcher.
The old switcheroo? Jesus Christ, man.
Is that what you did with your fucking gender, Mr. BDA?
That's what I was gonna say, man. That's a trans joke if I've ever heard one.
I'm transracial. I'm not transgender.
The old switcheroo. It's still switcheroo.
Well, of course it's a switcheroo. Anyway, listen. The point is,
the old switcheroo is when you buy your kids a bunch of Christmas presents, and then when they go to sleep at Christmas night, you rewrap the presents, and then you give them to your Mexican family over.
Yo, who left Vinnie Mac on the show?
Vinnie Mac? What are you talking about? That's reverse
Hey, that's Vinnie Mac. It's the exact same voice.
It's not.
The only difference is he uses his nose a little bit more. It's the exact same voice.
Oh, wow.
We got McGregor. He just got back from Quantico and his vocal training there with the FBI. Which one control this show, man?
It's with the IRA, actually.
Right, this is what you know. Right, this is what you know. That you never had a son.
I'm going crazy with power here, man.
Does anyone know if Patrick Day is dead or alive?
Oh, I don't know. That was a hard knockout. He almost made it.
No, all I know is that he didn't wake up by the time he'd gotten into the ambulance.
Oh no.
What?
What happened to poor
And he
Patrick
was having
Day?
seizures. He got hit with a hook to the temple and he went down heavy, smacked the back of his head against Conwell. And he was brought out on a stretcher. He was unconscious from the second he never restored consciousness and was having seizures on his way in.
Well, that's fucked. Oh, another blackout for box.
That's something. Isn't that something? This guy eats a left hook and he's almost dying. Errol Spence gets thrown off a fucking Ferrari doing flip-flops and he's okay apparently. Life really does fucking throw you off for a loop.
Hey, Bevel's about to fight now. They're introducing him. Nobody cares about Bevel.
He was about to win.
Yeah.
I care about Bivol. It's just he's fighting like fucking John Lennon or something.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like John. No.
Yeah, Lennon Castillo, man. He's fighting a Russian
Lennon.
dictator.
Glenn was a good man. All right. All right. You know what, guys? Maybe we should end it. I think we're all tired. And I watched the main event. Yeah.
I just got here.
Yeah, you called me like 20 minutes ago, Bucho. What the hell?
Well, that's your problemo. All right.
Oh, so Bujo wants to get some beauty sleep. The rest is wow.
It is this way.
I like the way he just cracked the beer open.
Son, this is the game. I'm playing his ass. That's my job. That's your job.
All right. I called you like an hour ago or something. So it is what it is.
You called me 9 minutes ago.
No, well, you sent me. I told you were sleeping. You weren't even online. And it's what time is it
never
over there?
online.
What time is
I'm
it over
always
there? It's like 5 a.m.
It's like 3:30.
Jesus.
Bro, do you really think like I'm gonna miss the debut of Alexander Usyk versus a UK bar and restaurant in Wetherspoons?
Maybe.
Ain't happening.
Maybe yes, maybe no.
Ain't happening, man. Alexander, would I really be like a good guy if I didn't watch Alexander Usyk beat up on a black man?
No, you would not.
Wait a minute. Wait, what?
No, you would not be.
He makes jokes. Fucking guys, calm down.
Yeah, it's a joke. I'm not actually racist.
He's half
Aw.
racist. He's half racist.
Yeah, it's which half?
The Irish.
Listen. Me and these boys are gonna kill your boys first. I'm not gonna skip the queue, but I wanna fight Davey first.
You never seen that video, McGregor? Sorry, Mark.
Of course I have.
Okay. Some people are like, what the hell is that? Anyways. Yeah, maybe we should end
Devil's
it.
put a schooling on this dude, man.
We should end it.
Devil's jabbing him, hooking him, jabbing him.
Alright. Play the music.
All right, boys and girls.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us, guys, everybody.
Peace out, fellas.
All right, gentlemen, you guys have a great evening.
Take care. Everybody in the chat, thanks. Yeah. Alright. Guys, we'll see you next time for the post-fight show. Stay tuned for more BDA Boxing.